us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. Good morning, Ghana. Good morning, lovely listeners of GhanaTalks Radio. You are welcome to the news headline review right here on GhanaTalks Radio. As usual, I remain your host, Ruth Esenam Fiagbedu. And joining me today in the studio on the news headline review is Miss Regina Bless and Miss Debbie Ados, who will be joining us shortly. Good morning, Miss Regina.
Good morning.
How is you?
Me is fine. How is you also?
It's me is doing very great.
We thank God it's me, it's you, and me, it's myself is also fine.
That's nice. Today happens to be Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's midweek.
Exactly.
Small.
If only we would have been going on holiday, tomorrow would have been the last day of the week for us. But
unfortunately, it's not.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about time. I want so.
So yesterday was National Prayer and Thanksgiving Day. How was it for you? I mean, from the videos you've seen on social media so far.
Oh, it's good. It's good because for a nation or a country to dedicate a day to serve the Lord, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you do, God is in control.
Oh yeah.
And the real president of this country is God. Then we come to the duplicates. President Mahama.
Right.
So in all things we do, we have to dedicate. We have to dedicate our doings into the hands of the Lord. I think we used to have a glow for. Is it a glow for Jesus?
A glow for Jesus.
But now it's no longer in existence. I think 1 or 2 times now. But someone will be like, prayer is not necessary as a country. But trust me, prayer is very necessary. I can't remember, was it China or India? One of the countries. I think they had a celebration where they were mocking God. And I think the following day, or if I'm not mistaken, 2 days later, flood destroyed the country.
Yeah.
So that alone should tell you that we really have a God we serve.
Yeah.
So if a country, you don't dedicate yourself to God, you die early.
I must say that yesterday on social media, I really enjoyed the praises aspect, which was led by Francis Amo. I wish I was there, the way I would have danced there. Hey, the praises was fire.
Fire.
It was lit. Oja. And our past president, Nanado, wasn't able to make it there. But he sent a message.
Oh, wow.
And then they viewed it for everyone to see.
Oh, that's nice.
And, people are also talking that, Nanado Anka. How no,
the word. Do you know that these two people are best friends?
They're actually friends, you get it.
The last time I saw their way back interviews, was it 2021 or 2022? And the way these people were smallish and they were vibing. So see, we are the ones that swap politics one time.
We are doing dirty politics.
Exactly.
We are doing
but
dirty
back then they are best of friends.
Yeah.
Oh Johnny.
Like he gets
very
it.
friendly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
in
so-
as much as Nanado Pepedas, he's a good man.
Yeah, he's a good
Put it
man.
that way.
He's a good man. So the National Prayer Day, it was successful, and from what I've seen so far, it was fun. It was fun, and I think it's something that we should continue doing as a nation. And that was a great initiative right there, President Mahama. All right, let's dive into our real stories for this morning. PNP petition Otunfo to intervene in Tokonu's removal. The People's National Party has petitioned the Asante-Hene Otunfo Osei-Tutu II to intervene in what is described as a politically motivated attempt by President John Dramani Mahama and the National Democratic Congress to remove the suspended Chief Justice, Justice Araba Gertrude Tokonu, from office. According to the party, the process leading to the suspension of the Chief Justice and the impeding deliberate attempt to remove her is an abuse of power and a political witch hunt. Addressing the media after submitting the petition on Tuesday, July 1, the leader of the People's National Convention, Janet Nabila, referred to Mahama government as vindicative and wicked, who derive pleasure in punishing their enemy. While accusing the Mahama administration of a deliberate attempt to take control of the three arms of government, she urged the president to take advantage of the National Day of Prayer to seek repentance from God.
Hey.
She stated, "We have come to Menchia to present a petition to him because of what is happening with the suspended Chief Justice issue. We are women, and a particular party comes and we realize that a particular party is targeting women and using all means that are abusive in nature to get what they want. It becomes so worrying. I wept when I heard the Chief Justice came out to register her displeasure to the entire country about the ordeal she's going through." She also added, "The process is an abuse of the Chief Justice and women of Ghana. Whatever they are doing to the woman is an abuse of power. Since all protocols are no longer working, our justice system becomes an extension of the political party. We decided to come to the Menchia Palace since the traditional authorities were there before democracy. How do you celebrate National Thanksgiving when you are wicked and vindictive? When your modus operandi is to punish your enemies, they should be celebrating National Day of Repentance and not National Day of Thanksgiving." Ghana form, sorry. Let me
This is funny.
let me explain.
Explain.
The People's National Party has formally petitioned the Asante-Hene Otunfo Osei-Tutu II, urging his intervention in what they describe as a politically motivated plot by the current administration to remove suspended Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Iraba Tokonu, from office. The petition, presented at the Menchia Palace on Tuesday, July 1, is a direct appeal against what the party believes to be an abuse of executive power under President John Dramani Mahama in the National Democratic Congress. According to the PNP, the action against the Chief Justice are a targeted political witch hunt, particularly against women in leadership. Janet Nabila, leader of the PNP, accused the Mahama administration of being vindictive, seeking control over the judiciary and other arms of government. She expressed concern about what she called a systemic abuse of power, especially when the justice system seems to be operating as an arm of the ruling political party. The PNP chose to involve traditional authority because, in their view, state institutions have failed and cultural leadership may be the last resort in seeking fairness and balance. she advised President John Dramani Mahama to go for repentance rather than celebrating National Prayer and Thanksgiving Day. The audacity. Miss Regina, this is coming from a political leader, someone who is vying for the position to become a president, and those are his words. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. Yes, Sakatu.
What?
In as much as Asante Hene Otumfo Osei Tutu the second is a respected personal or person right here in Ghana. Say, yadi any dear my dear, I will say any dear son. But is he a political leader? He's not. He's not a political
I didn't see that coming.
He's not a political leader. He is a traditional ruler. In as much as he is a man of peace and he deals with such issues like this,
Right.
this is not traditionally motivated and it's neither is it politically motivated. We are going through the legal and constitutional process. So if you are saying that you want him to intervene as how? Intervene as who? We are not disputing the fact that he's a big person right here in Ghana, but as who? Is he the president? Is he Supreme Court leader? I don't understand though. When Boko fight happened, they enrolled him to make sure that he see to it, and that is understandable because when it comes to Boko issue, it is traditional. So a leader is I would say a traditional leader is the rightful person to make sure that you go to him or her for advice, a traditional advice. But here's the case: we are going through a legal process. If now call a lawyer, dia na meti asio, but Asante Hene Otumfo Osei Tutu the second. Listen to the name. Oh, mama, papa, bro. Bibia Asante Hene. Everything Asante Hene. It's not right.
So if they go to Asante Hene,
What will he do?
Mama will.
The only advice Asante Hene would give is a moral advice. It is not a legal advice. I'm not saying he's not intelligent, but that is his role. He needs to play moral advice. But looking at the case we have at hand, it has nothing to do with tradition. It has nothing to do with moral. We are going according to the law. This is a legal fight and it should be treated as such. When you're on he is not the right person for you to present this issue to. If you're having issues at home with your husband, which you've talked and talked, you are not able to settle it, go to him. He will help you. If you're having land disputes in regards to his own jurisdiction, go to him. He would help you solve it. We all want peace, yes, but that is not the right way to go. That is not the best person for you to go to. It's like you having an issue at home. Then you go out to tell President John Dramani Mahama, on by ordering, I do your counselor. When who counsel chair acquaintance and I'll call President Mahama ho. So, in as much as he's a fellow right there in Ghana who is well respected among kingsmen, but no, he's not the right point for you to target. That is not the aim. When past president was in power, even it didn't even surface. It just surfaced when the whole brouhaha was going on. We learned that the petition was presented under his administration, but he didn't do anything about it. And now
That was allegedly.
yes, that was alleged. And now a president is in power, and he has taken it upon himself to make sure
He said he's a listening president.
Exactly, and that is
So
what he's doing.
If petitions have been submitted, why don't I take that responsibility to look into it? And that's exactly what he is doing.
So which one is politically motivated, and which one is because she's a woman, so she should not be sacked?
Like, you get it.
So if she's a woman and she, excuse me, she says she's doing nyama bi, she should still be there and be doing what?
Why are we treating this issue on like sentiment and gender? Like, you get it.
Gender equality way, a man, they are really abusing it.
Oh, seriously.
They are really abusing
Feminism.
it. Oh, and you fe.
Oh, come on.
I bet they're not treating us. It's not right. This is not an issue of gender. Even if it's a male and he is doing the bad thing, he needs to be sacked.
But why is it always a woman?
I suspend though. But if in Nigeria one home, you still be paid. Because any will pay and now they call you. They allowed you go willingly. So you still be paid. So why don't you keep quiet and receive the pay? And let the Lord do itself. At the end of the day, justice will be served.
Yeah.
If you are not at fault, I believe that President Mahama will not be biased. You would come back to your position. But so is she trying to say that since there's a petition, they should overlook that petition, throw that petition away, and let her continue to work? She's Chief Justice as that. You know the law. And I believe you should hold the law in high esteem. So this is not an issue of 14,432. You people should let the man rest. He has more important things to deal with. More important things and more legal process assembly. So please.
I say Mama is wicked. Miss Debbie, good morning. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So we're actually on the first story that has to do with PNP submitting a petition to Tunfor is said to do with regards to the issue of the removal of the Chief Justice. What are your thoughts on that briefly?
It's quite unfortunately that we are still discussing about this whole saga pertaining the Chief Justice. I mean, back and forth and a whole lot. It's quite surprising that as a Chief Justice, she knows more. Like, she's into law, so she knows what the law states and she understands it. But I'm quite surprised that up to now, she's still holding firm that she's not going to give up. And that she wants to prevail. It's like the enemies are at work, so they want to work. Like, she wants to fight against them. And then yesterday, serious. The petition that was presented was actually presented by is it PNP?
Yeah, PNP.
And she's also a woman.
Yeah, she's also a woman.
And she was saying that is bad. She's a woman. We shouldn't do that. But she was quiet when Charlotte was kicked out. And then Charlotte was saying, no, on your woman.
She's my woman.
Maybe. Because she was also a woman. And you see, I don't know why she's taking this serious to a different level. Because
emotions are big.
Like, emotions are big. She's the only Chief Justice. I mean, who say you could do what more do But it's not supposed to be you and the judge or whoever it is that is going to, communicate with you.
Perhaps the man is there to give emotional support.
What emotional support? You can be in the house and be praying for her, not to follow her. Following her means you're actually in a handbag. So she's taking you along. But it's not supposed to be so. And this is a case where we cannot judge or say that the government is not doing the right thing, because the committee who interrogated her, they've not spoken yet, and it is only her side we are listening to. She is coming out to say that the committee are biased, but as it stands now, the committee is not asked. They've not even disseminate whatever they've gathered so far from her. So if we want to judge right now, we might end up judging wrongly, because we have to hear from the committee side, and then per what he's saying, we can sit back and be like, okay, what she's saying might be true. maybe what the committee did was the wrong thing. But committee in Kasai say, I want our wire then. And see what does he want people to do? If Charlotte said should have done the same thing, but you are doing this. The thing is relax. No one is sacking you. You've been suspended. Dr. Yadomelevo, they suspended him for 10 months. I stand to be corrected. He went by force. Leave. He went on leave. But when it's happening like this, they will say that, oh, she's a woman. A man, dear, will see they should treat us well and that and that. But we have women that are very wicked. We have women that when they are given the position, they are wicked more than men. And you'll be suspended. Yes, we are investigating. After that, we will call you back. Maybe this is after the investigation. This is what we have found. This is the allegations that have been leveled against you. Do you have anything to say about it? Can you prove yourself? Then there you can prove yourself. If you know, you give your reasons. Then they'll sit back. Combine the two. Well, at the end she's guilty. At the end she's not guilty. But here lies the case. They say they've suspended you. They've not sacked you. You are making it look as if they've sacked you. No one sacked you. Go and rest. We will deal about the issue. And you see, you can only feel panicked or be panicked if you feel like you've done the wrong thing. If you've not done the wrong thing, why should you feel panicked? You should relax. This is the time where you should go out, have fun with your husband, because they be out
on a vacation.
What I say, every day you are there. So
to I dream.
You should relax, enjoy, and then at the end of this, whether you are guilty or not, the same law you are fighting against will bring it on board.
Right.
And your good deeds, whether bad or good, will vindicate you at the end.
Will vindicate you. All right. Moving on to our next news story. Ghana lacks coordinated policy to tackle growing slum crisis, and this is coming from urban governance experts. So urban governance experts and sustainable development expert Farouk Brahma has criticized Ghana's failure to adopt a clear, coordinated national strategy to address the country's growing slum crisis, despite years of political pledges and scattered intervention. Mr. Brahma noted that Ghana continues to grapple with the challenge of informal settlement due to the absence of a concrete slum development or prevention policy. His remarks follow the release of a new Ghana Statistical Service report, Slum and Informal Settlements in Ghana, which revealed that 30.8% of the country's urban population, that is about 4.8 million people, live in slums. This figure surpassed the global average of 24.7%, though it remains below the sub-Saharan African average of 53.9%. He acknowledged that the United Nations Development Programme and the Ministry of Local Government had previously developed a draft national slum prevention policy. However, he lamented a lax implementation. Mr. Brahma also blamed poor investment planning and fragmented institutional responsibility for the deepening crisis. He further argued that spatial plans created by many city authorities fall short of real infrastructure transformation due to the absence of actionable physical design. Yeah, I think we can all attest to the fact that our layout right here in this country is very bad. And that is why we are having issues with flood and even fire outbreak. Assuming there's a fire outbreak right now somewhere, the way for the fire service personnel to even get there to quench that fire is another issue, because our layouts are very poor, and that has led to many of people living in slums. And Ghana has failed to implement a coordinated national strategy to address its growing slum crisis. It's that hard, and I think it's high time the government needs to come out and then see to it that all these things are sorted. Ms. Regina.
Yes, I would say the government does not have a long-term sustainable plan to, should I say, curb or stop slums. It's growing day in and day out. When you go to some part of Accra, it's worse. We say, hey, is this Accra?
Is this Accra?
Accra. Accra. And surprisingly, those slums areas, none, I would say none, I can in fact boldly say none of these areas are clean. Dirty. They are very dirty. Poor sanitation. Water drainage. Insure cramp. They don't really have, when it comes to insure, they don't have it. And from what I heard, some private institutions are trying their possible best to make sure that they solve it. But so I believe this is the time where they need to come together, and also, if possible, together with the government to make sure that they find a proper planning system for these things. As you said, when there's a fire outbreak, it would be hard for a vehicle to maneuver its way through that place, because it's difficult. Two people can't pass one path at the same time.
Yeah.
You'd have to wait for one person to pass before you also continue your journey. So just imagine a car. How would a car be able to pass through? Let's use Cantamanto for example. See how the place was very choked. The fire service car was not able to pass through that place. It had to destroy some structures first. And so at the end of the day, now the harm has already been done. Ebiana equine dahwa. Your friend is saying, "Omutumi dumejan intentema." It wouldn't affect everyone.
Yeah, true.
So we should know that, in as much as you kind of saying people always want to come into Accra, you to think you are coming to Accra. Why I come to stay? Oh, everyone is looking for greener pastures, but they don't know that Accra is even difficult. Accra as it stands now, we are facing a lot of difficulties because and to also feel a crash say but no better than waha. At least a crash no. The last time I went to a village, it's like they don't even care about electricity.
Oh yeah.
What is it like?
Ile
and sana.
Just say fresh food. Udina wada. Wako phone, wako yo wejuma. What is they don't even care about it. Yeah, na yete ha because of smartphone into lights do man now. Hey, my phone is going low. Now buefu.
Right.
Now show dough. It's say Accra yes she. In Kofana we are packed. But a crash say, which me build window from my film fresh air.
Fresh air.
In January Accra hani na yechicha because of settlements. So I do agree with them. They should find a long-term sustainability plan for slums, because at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if people even start building on the roads.
Oh yes, they've even started.
Yes,
already.
and if there's it's a Kaswa. I don't know I don't know, but Kaswa there's a part where we call kiosk boutique.
Kiosk and Kwan.
Boutique. Kiosk and Kwan. And these people have occupied both the roads and the pedestrian roads.
Wow, that's very bad.
So they need to really look into that. They really need to look into that.
Yeah, Miss Debbie, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think all this will channel it to lack of affordable housing in the country. Like every house is very expensive here, so the only place you can actually lay your head is to go to these areas where there are affordable houses. Like the kiosk distance is very affordable. I think a month is somewhere like 50 cedis, or so if you're paying a month 50 cedis and you're supposed to be in a kiosk, you can actually rent for a year. And those places are very bad. You cannot even stay in those areas. It's very, very bad. The environment is not conducive enough. And then I would say that in a way we have to blame the government as well. That's why we have the local government. We have a minister for housing and local government. He is supposed to see all these things, ensures that people, the layout of our housings in this country are in order. Because how Ghana was in the 90s is no longer like that. Our populations have been doubled. Maybe in the 90s there were not much population, so they could actually cater for all the slums and issues. But today, I mean, Ghana is expanding. If you look at the population in Accra alone, I'm sure say you now millions and above. And so as the population is expanding, that's why we need to plan ahead as a country. Maybe in the next 5 years, still the population will expand. So what are we doing? What are the measures are we putting in place? What are we going to do to avoid these issues? And that is why we have flooding issues. And that is why anytime somebody mistakenly, leave his gas there or like does anything bad, and then it escalates. And then everywhere gets burnt and stuff because we have choked. Go to some places, like the houses are too choked. If you're bathing and you're not taking time, you're bathing into somebody's room. If you're pouring water and you're not taking time, you're pouring the water into someone's room. There is no space. And every
mistakenly, if you're not be there more.
Yes, it's true. When you go to Nima,
it's true.
You just be walking, then you go and enter into somebody's room.
If you're not careful, like it's that bad though. It's very bad. Very bad. And then when you enter into those areas, and from my friend and from my pa, you won't get it.
You won't get it.
They don't even have an basic amenity like, excuse me, the toilet facility. Nothing. Anywhere you get it, if you're not careful, you throw it in someone's room. You get it. So we have to. We just have to like sit down and plan. Like, it's getting out of hand. I would say that it's because we didn't do better planning then. We didn't plan ahead that maybe in the next, like 2025, Ghana will expand. What are we going to do? How are we going to prevent all these things? And I'm sure one thing I would like to also say is that someone who said that, it's not good to create people awareness, like education and stuff, but people in the village needs to be educated. Accra. I always say that living in Accra is not for the weak. Living here is for someone when it's like you want to stay here and live your life. Living here is not for the weak. See, in the village, it's real. What mean nanti would actually cry? What but I can't say tomato. Like you prepare your food simple. Here you have to buy 1 tomato 5 cedis. And if you don't have anybody here, better not cry. That is why this place is crowded. The people in the village has this notion that this place is luxury. Immediately you come, you get a place to stay. Immediately you come, you get someone to help you. They will help you, but at the end, they'll push you into prostitution. They'll push you into something that you don't want to do. So they should educate them, stay at your village. And want the government they should, like, develop those areas. That is why in 16 regions, and what is the essence? They've already created a 16 region. Nothing is going on. In 16 regions, you develop all those regions. And then, like, petty things that you have to travel from Volta region to this year, Accra to do it. They make sure that they provide all those offices. And I'm sure if there are works, there are employment in those regions, no one will be coming here. And even for tertiary education, you have to come here. Maybe the course you want to offer, they don't offer it, and even the university is not at your place. And basically, you have to come to Greater Accra. So I'm sure all these are factors, and I know the government cannot do it alone. So they should collaborate with NGOs. They should collaborate with private sectors. And then we can sort this whole issue.
All right. Thank you for that submission, Ms. Debbie. All right, moving on to our last news story. Small-scale miners urge government to deliver on cooperative mining scheme. So the Concerned Small-Scale Miners Association, led by President Michael Kojo Pepra, is calling on the government to honor its manifesto promise of implementing a cooperative mining scheme. The initiative, if realized, is seen as a transformational solution to the long-standing challenges in Ghana's small-scale mining sector, particularly illegal mining, also known as galamsey. So he urges that a well-structured cooperative system would help formalize the operations of thousands of informal miners, will provide legal regulated access to mineral resources, and improve environmental protection through monitoring and oversight, and lastly, reduce the dangerous and destructive practices common in unregulated mining zones. So the scheme is expected to allow groups of at least 5 individuals to come together to secure license as a cooperative, enabling them to mine legally and sustainably. So PREPRA, however, warned that issuing licensing is not enough. Enforcement and proper supervision are critical to ensuring sustainable practices and eliminating impunity in the sector. So cooperative mining. He mentioned that when NDC was coming to power, they said they are going to come up with cooperative mining. Obviously, it's illegal to mine here without a permit. So cooperative mining is going to be like a group of at least 5 people come together, they invest into it, then they go for the license and then mine legally. But this day they've not seen it. 1 minute each. Who will go? Miss Debbie.
Let's go.
Okay, so I think it's a good call because first off, in some way it would reduce illegal mining.
Yes, it
because
will.
if all these associations come together to form a corporation to mine legally, it's a good thing because
yeah, they
small
are
scale miners or bianing so it would even be difficult to differentiate between the small scale mining and those who want to mine illegally. So illegally.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe they are going forward to get a license as small scale miners,
right?
Deep down they are illegal miners.
Right?
So when these people come together, I feel it's a good thing because they say you can't say united you stand, divided you fall.
Together we
Yes.
stand.
So more kaboma, it's a good thing. Yes. 1 minute, maybe.
Yeah. Miss Debbie.
So granting a license alone, right?
Yeah.
So small, like I'll come, I'm mining, so give me license. Regina also comes, she's mining, and then after that, no strict supervision. I'm allowed to mine. Do these small scale miners I will still contribute largely to the illegal mining we are seeing because they go for the license. No one supervise them. There is no strict supervision. There is no strict monitoring, and then they end up mining illegally. I don't have evidence, but then I can boldly say that 50% of those small scale miners are involved in illegal mining. So it would be nice if we all come together as one. Say God back on so I didn't say give a name for us. I have my own name already. You have your name. That is why we have acronym. We pick one letter, we add it together, we get a name for ourselves, and then we go for the license. With that, it will even preserve our lands. But at the end of the day, you cannot even hold them responsible because one kasakwa you don't monitor them. So ensure whether they are mining legally or not. So in 1 minute.
Wow. Thank you so much for that beautiful submission. All right, this is where we draw the curtains for the news headline review. Up next, we have Debbie's Girl.
Good morning and thank you for joining me on Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state void of politics, fear or favor. The Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Frank Amoakohen, has called on the people of the region to fervently seek the face of God in prayer to cleanse the nation of corruption, moral decay, and practices that continue to hinder its progress. He made the call whilst addressing worshippers during the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Day service. According to the minister, the challenges confronting the country go beyond politics and policy, but requires divine intervention to restore righteousness, integrity, and accountability in both public and private life. As we gathered here today, we pray that God heals our lands from all the rot and corrupt activities. We seek that God give us one heart of purpose and unity. So this is from the Ashanti Regional Minister. It's calling on the people to pray and seek the face of God to deliver us from corruption. I mean, to deliver the country from corruption, bribery, and all the cases that are corrupted related cases. He says what we are going through as a country is beyond physical. The corruption related cases, the top officials, we allegedly notice that they are involved in one way or the other in corrupt cases is beyond physical. This is spiritual. So we should seek the face of God. And let me say this, that 99% of our political leaders, they are Christians. I'm sure by now God is sitting down wondering. God gave you the wisdom. I'm not sure this has to do with, this is not spiritual. This is physical, because the person looting from the state has his eyes wide open. Most of them are elders in the church. I'm not saying prayer is not good. Prayer is good. We have to pray. Even the Bible says that we ought to pray fervently. But we have leaders who have already purpose in their mind that they want to steal from the state. That is their intention, and that is what they want to do. This is not about spiritual. No one is, I won't say no one is bewitching the country. Our political leaders, no one is bewitching them. They know what they are doing. We can pray, but we will still have people that are corrupt. That is why God gave us the wisdom. God gave people the wisdom that when he was done creating us, some people came, and they were first people who came on earth before we arrived. And God gave them the wisdom that, see, there should be something like education. My people need to be educated. It's not only about, that is why even if you don't go to school, you cannot read the Bible. Because you need to be educated. Even your own dialect, sometimes taking the Bible, your own dialect that you speak fluently, you cannot even read it. So God gave them the wisdom. You bring something like education. Let my people be educated. Let them know the wrong from the right. So that as they are coming up, as they are meeting opportunities and chances, they know how to do the right thing. They know where to place this and they know where to place that. Excuse me, God was not a fool. He knows all this. That is why in his own wisdom, he granted people the wisdom to bring education. And fortunately enough, when I came into the world, I met something like education. I was educated. You were also educated. That is why when you are going somewhere and you feel like pee and you see that they've written there, do not pee here, you understand what they are saying. And so you won't go ahead to do it. There is a vast difference between people who are literate and people who are illiterate. But as it stands here, most of our political officials, they are educated illiterate. So should we say that they don't pray? They pray. They go to church. They pray. They fast. They do all these things. So should we also say that they don't know that corruption is bad? They know corruption is bad. They know looting from the state is bad. They know even the Bible says that taking what does not belong to you is wrong. Or didn't the Bible say that? Even at Sunday school, they taught us that if you see something here and it's not for you, leave it there. If you go somewhere and then you see someone's, whether phone or whatever it is, it's not for you, leave it there. But no, we will take it. Then at the end of the day, we will come blaming the devil. Sometimes the devil himself is even surprised. For the prayer, there is good, though. We have to pray, but till we change our mindset, we can pray and pray and pray and still see no change. The same Bible even said that when you pray and you didn't even act on it, it won't work. Prayer without action, it doesn't work. Most of our political leaders, they are Christians. If you go to parliament right now, 99 of them, they are Christians. They have churches they attend. Every Sunday, they go to church. Some of them even get opportunity that they are ordained as ministers of God. They preach the word. They offer in church. They are being made chairman in big occasions so they can give big money. But what is the source of their wealth? What is the source of their wealth? They loot from the state. They do all these bad things. And then you tell us that we should pray for them. We can pray for them, but if you are praying for someone, you can even go to church and be praying, but in your heart you know you won't change. We have people like that. They go to church, pray for deliverance, they are praying, but in their mind they know they won't change. We have people who even come to church to steal. If you are in church and you don't hold your phone in your hands, we have people, they say that the church is a hospital. All those coming to church, we are all sick. We are there for the deliverance of God, for God to heal us. That is why in the church you have to be careful. If you are going to give offertory, you are holding your phone. If you are going to give offertory, you are holding your bag. Because when you turn your back, someone will take your phone. In the church. Even in the church, in the house of God. You see, the Bible said, do not deceive yourself. God cannot be mocked. There are certain things in the Bible that you have to follow suit. If you don't follow it, you are not going to receive your blessings. The Bible said, do this, do as it says. But for us, as for this generation, we know the right thing, but we don't want to do. I will always say this, the day we go to heaven, we have a lot of questions to answer. A lot. Or you think you are just, you've been appointed, so that ends it. No. The Lord is going to ask you one day, yes, you are given this opportunity. Power was handed over to you. What did you do with it? Did you use it in the right way? Was it in the benefit of the people? Or it was for your own selfish gain? You will be asked. Even that same Bible states in Revelation that you will be judged. So if you are doing something today and you feel like, yes, you are doing it, you've been given the power, so you can do anything you want. One day when you get there, you will be judged. You will be asked questions, and I'm sure you are ready to answer. You'll be asked questions why 50 people came to your office for employment, and then at the end of the day, you were submitting 188 to the government. And they were paying money. You will be asked. You will be asked why money that is meant for a company was diverted into your private account. You will be questioned. And I know you've already prepared your answers down, because we will all leave this earth one day. We are all going to leave. When you get there, I'm sure you have your questions. You have your answers to answer. Let's not use Christianity as a care of and be doing something. Oh, no. God, as He is, He's very, very wise. He knows what He's doing. So if you want to use Christianity as a mask to be doing something fishy behind the sin, that same God, He's merciful. But that same God also brings judgment. Today you might have your grace period, but who knows tomorrow? We are all going to be judged one day. That one day is a fact. We can pray and pray and pray and pray and pray and ask God for forgiveness. God will forgive us. But then when we get there, you will be asked what you do in secret that is not yet out. What these public officials are doing to the citizens of the country. You will be questioned. So the fact that the Ashanti regional minister is saying that we should pray, and that is spiritual, whatever. The money they are stealing, any kind of money, any kind. They are doing that, and they know that even the Bible is against it, but they are doing it. Everything is corrupt in this country. Everything is corrupt. Even when you get to the market, our mothers selling at the market, most of them are even corrupt. Something that needs to be sold as 5 cedis, they'll tell you 10 cedis. Not to even talk about our security personnel, the police. We all know what they've been doing. A driver violates the law and he's supposed to be punished. You go back door, you take money, it ends there. not even come to the top official because but one thing I also want us to know that any boniketua, any bonikes here, whether you stole 1 cedi from the state, it's still a sin. And I'm sure some people will devote to pray because yesterday we prayed, God have listened. After the prayer, what's next? Are we ready to change? Are we ready to change our mindset? Are we ready to do what we're asked to do? Are we ready to perform our duties as ministers? Are we ready to perform our duties as member of parliament, fair with accuracy, transparency? Are we ready to account to the people of this country? We are praying. But when you get there, I'm saying this like joke, when you get there, you will be questioned. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Girl.
Ayo. Miss Gina, today in history.
Okay. So today in history, 2010, Ghana's Black Stars played Uruguay in the World Cup quarterfinal. Ghana's Black Stars played Uruguay in the World Cup quarterfinal as American missed the crucial penalty in extra time, denying Ghana a spot in the semi-finals and a chance to become the first African nation to reach that stage. Up till now, we still drag him for that. The Deputy Undersecretary of the U.S. State Department departed from Accra. This event is part of the broader context of U.S.-Ghana relations in the early years of Ghana's independence. Following the country's transition from British colonial rule, Kwame Nkrumah was the first Prime Minister and later the first President of Ghana. The Amistad Revolt took place, where enslaved Africans aboard the Spanish schooner La Amistad revolted against their captors. The revolt, led by Singbe Pia, also known as Joseph Klink, resulted in the death of the ship's captain and cook. The enslaved men then ordered the ship's navigators, who were 2 Spanish planters, to sail back to Accra. In 1990, Nelson Mandela, fresh from his release from prison, addressed the UN General Assembly on July 2nd, where he called for continued international support to dismantle apartheid in South Africa. This speech was a crucial moment in the global effort to end apartheid. Moving on, the Rwandan Patriotic Front, led by Paul Kagame, captured Kigali. This event was a significant turning point in the Rwandan genocide, as it marked a major step towards ending the widespread violence and control by the interim government responsible for the killings. While the RPF secured Kigali on July 2nd, the war officially ended on July 18th with the liberation of northwestern Rwanda. The post-genocide Rwandan government, largely formed by the RPF, then took office in Kigali. Today is observed World Sports Journalist Day. It is celebrated to mark the services of sports journalists for the promotion of sports, promptness, impartiality, and talent. Millions of fans around the world receive information, make their choices, form their opinions. This day has been earmarked as the official day of celebration because of its significance as the date when the International Sports Press Association was established at the 1924 Paris Olympics. This day is also observed as Freedom from Fear of Speaking Day. It is observed annually. This day encourages people to confront and overcome their fear of public speaking. It is time to discuss anxieties and explore ways to build confidence in speaking situations. Lastly, I Forgot Day. It is a day to forgive yourself and others for forgetting things like birthdays or anniversaries. You can use this day to reach out to someone you forgot to connect with or make amends for any forgotten obligations. So that's all for today on observances of the day and today in history, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Join me same time tomorrow for more amazing and fascinating facts.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless. Today's word, a World Forgot Day.
I forgot today.
I forgot day.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot to eat.
That is not the day we are celebrating.
But it's World Forgot Day.
It is a day to forgive yourself and also apologize to others, especially if you had forgotten maybe a special day to them, maybe birthdays, anniversaries, an obligation.
Go and forgive those people, okay?
Yeah.
It wasn't their intention. Looking at the kind of world we are living in right now, the things make plenty.
It's not an excuse.
Thank you.
All right, this is where we draw the curtains for the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. And up next, we'll be coming up with the news. And after the news, we'll be coming up with the main discussion. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm Mr. Level Bear. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. My 20 things about Kwasem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say no artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go be spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio and yes say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app no our Play Store and the App Store. Na tune in yes say this what you see baba live on Facebook, go Instagram, any Ghana Talks Radio page and so now listen. Ebe your fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Good morning and welcome to the morning news broadcast on GhanaTalks Radio. Coming up, Ghana welcomes India Prime Minister to strengthen Ghana-India relations. President Mahama urges Ghanaians to avoid tribalism and extremism. In related news, former President Akufo-Addo praises Mahama's prayer day and thanksgiving. Education Minister urges investment in TVET. These and many more coming up shortly. To stay with us. India Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to visit Ghana from today, July 2nd to 3rd, 2025, for a two-day official state visit to strengthen the bilateral relations between Ghana and India. This visit marks the first 30 years after a sitting Indian leader will be visiting the country. The Prime Minister will hold a bilateral meeting with President Mahama to discuss trade, investment, agriculture, education, healthcare and energy. Agreements will be signed to expand collaboration frameworks between Ghana and India.
We feel very honored indeed that Prime Minister Modi chose Ghana as the first country to visit on this five-nation tour as he heads to the next BRICS summit, proving to be a very trusted friend. When Ghana attained our jubilee, Ghana at 50, we recall that India offered to reconstruct the seat of government. And so the current seat of government where the presidency operates from was a goodwill gesture from the government and people of India. Our foreign ministry, this ministry, when we decided to establish for the first time in our history a foreign service institute, again, India came to our rescue. And India offered us a grant in the establishment of the Foreign Service Institute, the first of its kind in West Africa. Key on the said in the evening by President Mahama to a state banquet in his honor. And at that state banquet, the President of the Republic of Ghana has decided to confer on Prime Minister Modi our highest national award, the Companion of the Order of the Star of Ghana. That we conferred on Prime Minister Modi as part of this two-day visit.
President Mahama cautioned Ghanaians against tribalism, religious extremism, and political hostility. He made this appeal during the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving at the forecourt of the State House. President Mahama emphasized that peace and unity are fragile and should not be taken for granted. He urged Ghanaians to build bridges, not barriers, and to resist attempts to inflame tension among ethnic groups.
In a world where faith can divide nations, our faith in Ghana unites us. In Ghana, churches and mosques do not compete for dominance. They coexist in mutual respect and in dignity. Our different traditions and our backgrounds have not weakened us. They have strengthened us in our shared identity. This is a precious gift we must protect. Let us remain vigilant against the voices of tribalism, against the voices of religious extremism, and against the poison of political hostility. These are the seeds of division that we must never let take root in our precious nation, Ghana. We must speak a language of peace, compassion, and mutual respect. We must build bridges, not barriers, for we are one people, sharing one land, and pursuing one identity and destiny.
In related news, former President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has praised President Mahama for initiating the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. In a recorded video message played during the maiden edition of the event, he commended President Mahama for making the initiative a reality.
It's clearly a worthwhile initiative, and we have this one day where all of us come together to give thanks to the Almighty for the many, many, many blessings He has bestowed upon us. We've had our problems, coups, etc., but the country has never broken apart, and we have never ended up fighting each other because of politics or power. And that is a blessing for us. So we have a lot to thank God for. And I want to commend the President for taking up this initiative and for making it real. I want to congratulate all of you for undertaking this important national assignment and devoting your energies to it. It's all in the interest of our country. I think it's a worthwhile initiative, and I believe that it is one that all well-meaning Ghanaians, who are the overwhelming majority of Ghanaians, will embrace this initiative as a positive development in our country. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for the invite. You convey my warm greetings to the President, Chief of Staff who wrote to me, and for this meeting. Thank you very much indeed.
You heard from the former President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Moving on to education, the Education Minister Haruna Idrisu is calling for increased investment in technical vocational education and training to equip Ghanaian youth with practical skills. He believes TVET is crucial for addressing unemployment and driving economic growth. The Education Minister emphasized that TVET is vital for Ghana's development. However, Ghana has secured 5 million grant from Italian government.
Invest more in technical and vocational education, invest more in hands-on training in order to equip our young people for the competitive world of work. We are here today for the commencement and beginning of the nationwide examination for technical and vocational education. I'm accompanied by the Director General for TVET, Dr. Eric, and Mr. Suleimana Zakaria of CTVET, just to satisfy ourselves that all is set and all is ready for the examination, and to urge the students to walk this process with confidence, with determination, but more importantly with integrity. I am particularly concerned about a new growing phenomenon.
In business, the Association of Ghana Industries has raised alarm over the recent 2.45% increase in electricity tariff, warning that the adjustment could derail the successful implementation of the government 24-hour economy policy. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission announced the increment earlier this week, citing exchange rate fluctuations, inflationary pressures, rising fuel prices, and higher operational costs as key factors behind the decision. However, in an interview, the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of AGI, Akpalu, said the timing and magnitude of the hike are concerning, especially for businesses expected to run extended hours under the new policy. If you are talking about a 24-hour economy, you are asking industry to work beyond the usual 8 hours and continue through the night. That means higher electricity consumption, the cost of power will increase, possibly doubling what we have previously paid. A 2.5% increase under normal production is one thing, but with extended hours, the actual cost impact will be far greater, he added. The Ghana Union of Traders Association echoed similar sentiment, cautioning that the tariff hike would inevitably translate into higher consumer prices. GUTA President Dr. Joseph Obin warned that businesses have little choice but to pass on the additional costs. This time we will not just keep talking. For instance, plastic manufacturers have had their taxes raised to 7% and they have already announced price increases. That's what we are going to see more of, he said. This is a cost issue. If operational costs go up, product prices will also go up. Both AGI and GUTA are calling on the government to re-evaluate the economic impact of rising utility costs as it prepares to roll out policies aimed at boosting productivity and lowering the cost of living. The 24-hour economy policy, a flagship initiative of the National Democratic Congress, is set to be launched today, Wednesday, July 2nd. It seeks to promote round-the-clock operations in sectors such as manufacturing, health, transportation, and retail, with the aim of reducing unemployment and stimulating national growth. In related news, still in business, Ghana's long-anticipated 24-hour economy policy will be officially launched today, Wednesday, July 2nd, in a bold effort to drive economic transformation, enhance productivity, and tackle unemployment through round-the-clock operations in key sectors. The initiative, flagship among the National Democratic Congress manifesto promises, is designed to encourage continuous shift-based work in industries such as manufacturing, agro-processing, healthcare, transportation, and retail. Described by the government as a game changer, the policy is expected to create thousands of new jobs, increase national output, and unlock value across supply chains. Companies that enroll in the program will benefit from tax incentives, access to stable electricity, and enhanced nighttime security. Gozi Tano, presidential advisor on the 24-hour economy, outlined the framework of the policy at the launch event, noting it is built on three core pillars: transforming production, improving supply chains and market system, as well as strengthening human capital. These foundational anchors are supported by 8 strategic sub-programs, he said. Among the sub-programs are 24-hour focus on agricultural modernization, supporting industrial and manufacturing growth, improving logistics and supply chain systems, promoting a national culture of productivity. A significant component of the policy is the integration of digital skills into the technical and vocational education and training (TVET) system to prepare youth for emerging job opportunities. The Show Ghana initiative was also announced to leverage the country's cultural heritage for tourism and foreign revenue generation. Speaker of Parliament Alba Bagbin, who responded to the presentation, expressed support for the program but urged the government to seek legislative backing to ensure its sustainability. He called on the 24-hour Economy Secretariat to work with Parliament to draft and pass a bill that will institutionalize the policy and protect it from being discontinued under future administrations. The July 2nd launch signals what the government describes as the beginning of a new economic era aimed at transforming Ghana's labor dynamics and unlocking long-term inclusive growth. To sports, Ghanaian midfielder Musa Mohammed believes he is well prepared to excel in any league after an impressive debut campaign in the Turkish Super League. The 23-year-old who plays for Bodrum FK featured in 24 matches last season and registered 4 assists, playing a key role in the club's first top flight campaign. Mohamed regards the Turkish Super League as one of the most challenging competitions in Europe and says his experience there has sharpened him for the next step in his career. The Turkish Super League is one of the difficult leagues. As you see right now, there is a Leroy saying he is at the Galatasaray now, he told GhanaTalks Radio. So you can see the league kind has big players, and also you've got a lot of experienced players. Mohamed began his career at lower tier Ghanaian side before moving to Turkey, where he trailed with Giants. He started his professional journey at Ankara, then moved before eventually signing with Bodrum, where he stood out in his maiden league season. Now, reports from the Meteorological Agency has it that mostly cloudy weather is anticipated to dominate most places in the country during the early hours of the morning, with misty or foggy conditions reducing visibility over the mountainous and forest areas. However, there are chances of slight to moderate rains along the coast and part of the island and northern sector. As the day progresses, partly cloudy conditions will prevail across all sectors, with the likelihood of thunderstorms and rains affecting parts of the north, transition, middle and coastal sectors from the afternoon into the evening. Some affected areas include Aflau, Accra, Kaswa, Cape Coast, Takoradi, Ho, Koforidua, Akemoda, Kumasi, Oboase, Takwa, Seshibekwai, Ketekrachi, Kintampo, Gwoso, Sunyani, Techiman, Yendi, Tamale, Bole, Damongo, Bolgatanga, Nalerigu, and Wa. And that's how we end it on the morning news broadcast. Do well to log on to www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more news updates. Do have a good morning.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide. I'm level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our GhanaTalks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fi spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our GhanaTalks Radio and yes say then our day. Me say download the GhanaTalks Radio app no our Play Store and the App Store. Na tune in yes say this what you see baba live on Facebook, go Instagram, any GhanaTalks Radio page and so now listen. E be your fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esina Ofiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm level bam. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. My 20 things that about Kwasem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say no artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fit spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio, and yes, say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app, no, our Play Store, any App Store. No tune in, and say this is what you see, but live on Facebook, Cointakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page, and so now listen, I bet you fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajai.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. My name is Pakwesi Omare. A good morning to you wherever you are listening to me and watching me from in the studios of Ghana Talks Radio. I know you've had a great night into the morning, looking at how the entire nation went into prayers and worship unto the Most High yesterday. It has brought some fresh relief into the atmospheres. And I know Paul in the studios here will have something to say about that. I mean, the Holy Spirit has filled us, so Paul is even looking so anointed this morning. But yes, we'll be getting into the conversations very soon. The NDC communicator will be joining us along the line, but we have Paul in the studios, and I want to use this opportunity to invite you to join the conversation. You can join the conversation on all our social media platforms, Ghana Talks Radio, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on X. Our WhatsApp line is 0202544614. Our website is www.ghanatalksradio.com. Paul.
Mr. Murray.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yesterday, I mean, the entire nation was in praises and worship and prayers and fasting and all that. I know you're a Christian.
Yeah, I'm a Christian, and I believe in my religion.
Yeah.
But there was a bold statement made by one Islamic leader.
Okay.
Sheikh Ibrahim, Sheikh Kamal-Din Abubakar.
Okay.
Yeah, he made one bold statement that I will applaud him.
Okay.
Because it was a very bold statement. But no, I've not seen a political religious leader doing this.
Wow.
He made a statement about our judicial system.
Okay.
And it said, few years ago, these people, this particular government, were complaining about the gap, about the gap of the appointment of justices in the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Yeah, this current government, they're complaining that the previous government was appointing the justices anyhow into the Supreme Court, and we are bloating the Supreme Court with many justices.
Okay.
Only for the government to come out and after 6 months also appoint 7 justices. And then this was a very bold statement. And made it clear that we shouldn't politicize our judicial system.
Okay.
Because that's where we can all run to.
Okay.
Why did you say this? Because you were complaining about the previous government bloating the Supreme Court with justices and other things. And then you are in power now, and in just 6 months into power, you have appointed 7 justices to go in addition to the those there.
Existing ones.
How many of them have retired?
Okay.
So he made a like I pray the Christian leaders should also follow suit. They should all go like they should all be voicing out, because some of these things are things that matter to the state.
Okay.
Do you get it? There are things that need to the state. And then I always say this national day of prayer and Thanksgiving or whatever. If we do this thing and we don't change our attitude and we don't change our attitude, nothing's going to work.
Okay.
We are not the only country praying to God. Other countries are also praying to God.
Sure.
You get it? Other countries are also praying to God.
Yeah.
Every country is praying to God, but it depends on your attitude.
Okay.
And the input and the work you're going to do. That will make God also. Because heaven helps those who help themselves.
Okay.
You can't just be sitting down and be praying. We have a glow for Ghana. They pray every Saturday, every third Saturday of every month for this country.
Do they?
Don't they pray? What do they go and do?
In the last 8 years, how many times did they pray?
Maybe they have when COVID came, they put a halt to the activities.
Okay, I'm asking since 2017, how many times did you hear this Aglo?
Aglo have been praying from 2017. I was seeing them praying, but maybe you might say the prayer topics were different. That's what maybe you might say.
But I mean, going back to what you just said about the statement made regarding the Chief Justice's appointment and all that. One thing about these judges we all know is that as they grow into ranking.
Yeah.
So you see a justice begin at, let's say, a junior court, gets into the
high court, to the appeal, then
the Supreme Court.
My problem is
I'm coming. Let me finish. So you see, it's of due diligence that they attain these promotions into retirement. The adversity between the two instances, those who are appointed then and those who are appointed now, is that some were appointed when it could be termed that they haven't reached where they should be in such positions yet, while those who have actually reached there are not being promoted into that position. We can call it competence or whatever, but in law or in the judicial system, we all know that it goes with the ranks, how long you've been practicing and all that. So I don't know if you're getting.
I'm getting the point, but my point is, the current government, when they're in opposition, their main concern that was we are bloating the Supreme Court, many justices.
Okay,
that was their main issue.
Okay,
but two of them were not approved.
Okay,
two of the justices were not approved because they were saying they haven't reached the level for them to become justices.
Okay,
fine, and then they were still complaining about the bloating.
I think the complaints, if we all could be a bit honest and fair, the complaints was much in a concern that those who are being appointed are more of a party affiliated people or persons.
How will you conclude those that were not approved?
Yeah,
I learned one contested on a ticket of
the NPP.
The NPP, those that were not approved. So they were not approved.
Okay.
So you didn't approve them, but they were still complaining.
Okay.
Once you didn't approve them, because maybe you ran a ticket of NPP as a PC, a parliamentary candidate, and you didn't approve them, why complain again?
Okay.
Do you get it?
Sure.
So we are politicizing our judicial system, and it is bad.
Okay.
It is very, very, very bad. We are politicizing it. If you look at the case of the CJ, now PMP has petitioned the Tumfor to come in and stand in and do certain things, and then we are waiting for Tumfor's reply.
But what are they expecting him to do?
In this country, everything we call on the Tumfor.
Okay, so
everything we call on the Tumfor. With this Baku issue, the president called on the Tumfor to come in to step in.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they want him to do, or they want him to talk to the president or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So other political parties have started coming out to condemn this act, and then we are all waiting because we don't have to politicize our judicial system. It's very bad.
Okay.
It is very, very, very bad.
Okay. The issue of the Chief Justice, we all learned that she has filed a case to get the proceedings quashed because she believes that she is not being treated fairly according to the Constitutional Act. What do you say by that? What is your
she was
take
making
on that?
some claims that she's not being treated fairly. One, she made a statement about the place, the venue of a hearing, and she made it clear that venue was the place where they planned to kill the 3 judges. And then the 30th June was about 43 years ago, right? If I might get it right, 30th June, this last Monday. So it's like she sees that place as a place to intimidate her, because we have the court, we have every court there, the Supreme Court and other places there. So why choose that place? The Edu Lodge. Is it the Edu Lodge or why choose that place?
Okay.
On the Castle Road, why choose that place? You get it?
Yeah.
And also, before you be summoned to court, you have to get a writ by the is it the plaintiff or you have to get a writ. The writ that was sent to the court, you have to get a copy. Like this is what you can file your defense. You get you can file defense.
Okay.
She doesn't know what, and then the court is preventing. The court is saying they are not going to give any party, whether the lawyers or the lawyers for the state, that they're not going to give anybody. No, they have to give to them so they can file their defense. They have to know what the committee, after the committee sat down, what they found and what they presented to the court. That she can also file a defense and know what is come to say at the court. But to hide it from her is like you're abusing it, because the Constitution states declare that you have to provide the person with a writ, so that the person can file her defense or his or her defense, and the court is not doing that. There's certain things there that the woman is saying, and you can see the woman is not being treated fairly. She also made it clear that they are not going to allow her to even sit in the court with a family member, either a family member or a friend or whatever. No, she has to come there alone. How? I mean, how? And then they're not going to give her a chance to also cross-examine the petitioners.
Okay.
She wants to cross-examine them, let them know what and what they are saying. She wants to also cross-examine them.
Okay.
Do you get it? Yeah, so she wants to be allowed to do all these things. And then somebody will say our judicial system has been corrupt. That's why this is happening. But we all know after the announced expose, when did it happen? We saw judges taking goods and other things. So this judicial system has been corrupt since. And you are not going to blame it on this very woman.
Okay. So
if you want to blame it on this woman, then you have to change up the court, because in the last expose, it doesn't only about the Supreme Court too, High Court, District Court, and other things. Okay. Then you have to change certain judges at all levels of the court of our judicial system.
Okay.
At all levels, you have to change many of them. I mean, I think many of them at all levels.
All right.
Do you get it? If truly, their main motive behind starting the CJ is that they want to purify the judicial system.
Yeah.
Then I think they have to start from the district courts to the high courts or to the, like any other courts.
Okay. You see, the law clearly states that these proceedings shouldn't be publicized. The findings of it, the details of it, should remain in the confines of the people involved alone.
Yeah.
So, with what we saw the Chief Justice do, holding a press conference, giving details of what was going on in the proceedings, was it fair?
Do you get the point? If she was treated fairly, I don't think she would have come out. This case has been there since President Mama was sworn in. She started the removal, the petition, the petition, and then also the removal of the suspended her, and they started the removal of the CG. She has never come out. Do you get it? But it has gotten to a point. No.
But
no, because whatever she's going through, whatever she's going through, because these things are against human rights, against their own rights. Okay. So she has to come out to voice it. No, you say, although you can save me my right, I'm not going to publish it. You can save it to me. I'm not going to publish it. It's going to be between the two of us. Why are you not going to allow any family member to? Why are you not going to allow me to come with any family member? And then why choose the do lodge? Some of these things, like
so why should it be any other place and not a do lodge? Like
it should we should hear the matter in the courts. A fence, like a first place, a courtroom. That's what I can say. A courtroom.
Okay, let's take it from this angle. The law states that the findings of this issue, you see that even journalists are not allowed there.
Yeah.
In a courtroom, it's a public space. Everyone is allowed to be there. Do you know that?
Yeah.
That is why the weight of the issue.
So
this is not something to be publicized.
Mr. Murray, can they have a day in the same courtroom? Just choose a day. That today we are not allowing media men in the courtroom.
No, it can't. It can't be.
It can't be so.
So.
Then the woman also doesn't like the do lodge, because the do lodge, the history about the do lodge, the woman also does not prefer that place.
Does she dictate to how the laws should work?
And they will choose a particular place for her. That this is a particular place we want to do the hearing. They will search her. No family member will be there. Nobody will be there. And then they'll go. No, this case can't be so.
Why?
And also she hasn't been served with the writ, not knowing what has been filed against her. She doesn't even know what has been filed against her after the committee sat down.
So when she came out to say that all the things they said she has done, the allegations, the money she spent and all that, she has even returned what was remained. If she didn't know what she was dealing with,
that was the petition. That was the petition. The petition, she was served with the petition. But after the petition, that the committee sat down. Then is it the Council of State, after they sat down and other things, before they sent whatever they are finding to the court. That's where she wants to know whatever she has been summoned to the court. It's different from the petition. With the petition, she has seen the petition.
If you want to know what you are dealing with, that is why there is a proceedings going on.
That is why the court, they've sent they've summoned her to the court. And she wants to know what is in the summon, that she can file a defense. And this time she's not going to share on social media. It's between parties involved. That's it. The parties involved. That's it. It's not going to be on social media. It's just going to be about the parties involved. And then will they allow her to cross-examine the petitioners? Are they going to allow her?
Why would she want to cross-examine the petitioners? All she needs to do is to answer to what the petitioners has brought. See, she is not tried for persecution. She's been tried for removal. She's tried for answering questions to what the petitioners brought.
And then what the petitioners brought, she has seen everything. That the Council of State have sat the former committee.
She has seen everything.
The petition. But after the Council of State and other things sat on the former committee, and then they sat on the petition and other things, there are findings and whatever that they're sending to court. She has to have a copy. She has to have a copy of it.
Is that what the law says?
She has to have a copy. That's what she quoted. I've forgotten the article she quoted. She quoted an article in the Constitution that she has to get a copy of it. So she has to know whatever after the committee sent to the court. She has to know. She quoted that in the Constitution, and then they are going to search her thoroughly before she enters.
But that is what is.
Chief Justice cannot be said before she enters. No, she quoted. I forgot. I have to. The Chief Justice. I have to quote that.
Let me draw attention to something.
They have to search her handbag. She's going there alone without a family member. They search her handbag. They will search her pockets everywhere before she enters. Why is she going to record something? Is she going to record something?
Who knows? The law states that
she's not going to record.
No
she's not going to record anything.
See,
what are you scared of?
If she has, what is she rather scared of? Let's ask.
She's rather scared of the lodge where they plan to kill the 3 judges, and then they kill the 3 judges. She's scared of that place.
What has that got to do with her proceedings?
Where judges were murdered and she's a judge, and then they're telling us what has that got to do with the procedures?
Does she use the road?
She has never entered into the
lodge.
Does
she use the road?
Does she
use the road in Ghana?
If she used the road, and then she hasn't entered into the lodge, me myself.
No, I'm not talking about the road to the lodge.
No, I'm talking. She uses it.
Has there ever been an accident on the Abilukuma road?
There have been an accident.
So is she saying that?
But with this issue is very sensitive. Let's take it a place where, like when we were kids, we were staying at Abeka, La Paz, and then Dr. Berkeley last came to stay at Fadama.
Yeah.
Do you get it? And then we learned Dr. Berkeley was a ritualist. Some of us were very, even to enter that area. Some of us, because of the history, even Otufi Okrano, because of the history that Berkeley now piano. Some of us were even scared to still enter into the house. Because of the history behind that house. Once Dr. Berkeley now that was the mentality. Do you get it? Certain times, what the history behind the Lodge is very bad. It's about judges who, and then truly, they were made it. One was breastfeeding, and they were made it. So, like, it was still 3 months, and then you're saying his uncle was also part. He was his guardian.
The same uncle who there's a report of him from the CIA that let's not even get it.
No, if you're going to talk about this, then we'll go back to start from the daughter from Edra.
So you see, So then you see why her mention of the Edu Lodge is not even.
No. If you mention that it was a CIA against Kwame Nkrumah, if you mention about that thing,
and I'm saying,
and then if you mention that
that wouldn't count, then her mention of Edu Lodge being a murderous place for
the murderous place for the 3 judges, that, and she's a judge. This case, she's a judge, so the very location, are you comfortable with entering there alone? Are you comfortable? And then she has to voice out. Are you comfortable entering there alone? Maybe I could plan judges. Me and son about crying, but you're no you're mobile.
Is she there alone?
She's going to be there alone with her lawyers, and then you know what can happen.
What do you think could happen?
I can't speak about the future. I also speak about the future. That's why she's scared, because she cannot talk about the future.
Okay.
And then, the future is pregnant. We can't speak about the future. Okay. So, due to this, she's scared, and she feels intimidated.
Okay.
All right. So she doesn't want to go. They can choose another place.
Okay.
And phobia. But that particular Edu Lodge, I'm not changing.
Okay.
A place where they plan to murder 3 judges and truly, swampa.
Okay.
Ampa.
All right.
And then the judges, I don't know if the court has baby. They were form free na papa na you know maybe kukum. No, like at least they come from court in so my the boning poor like they should just say that this is what their crime, this was their crimes. They were form na papa na kukum na.
Okay.
Engineer come Japan. Also claims his dad was part of the judges.
Okay.
And then every day, every 30th of June, this man cries. Because he says he was in the house. He was in the house, and then they just came to pick his dad. Not knowing they were going to kill him.
Okay.
Only like yeah. Do you get it? It's very, very painful.
Okay.
And then if you have this history in your mind, if you remember, if you can record this in your mind, and they are sending you back to Edu Lodge. Now tell my show. That's how I made reference to Dr. Berkeley.
Okay.
Not area how no BS will say, we are all scared to enter the house.
All right.
This is the history behind the house.
Okay, thank you. Bismarck. Yeah. Thank you for joining us in the studios. Good morning and welcome once again.
Good morning. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Yeah, so we've been waiting for you before you walked into the studios. We spoke about how yesterday was celebrated. It used to be a Republic Day. Then, under the previous administration, it had certain amendments to it as a holiday. And we've seen a new revision to that same day. Now it has been known for a national prayer and some worship day or something. But yeah, how did it go for you with all these revisions up and down?
All right, thank you. Yesterday was a very good day to the entire country, and it was so surprising and to see that most of the ministers, in addition to our first gentleman, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, gathered with a lot of reverend ministers, prophets, bishops in the country to pray for Ghana.
Okay.
And also to thank God for how far He has brought us. Yeah, so the day was a very good one, and I trust and believe that moving forward, if we want to make good use of such a session, as President Mahama said yesterday, it was a day to reflect back and then think about where we have come from as a country, and then be able to see how best we can move ahead, including God in our development sector. Yeah, so it was a great day yesterday that we all witnessed as a people of Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when we look at governance, what is the influence, the impact of spirituality or divinity on state governance?
Yeah, spirituality is so much important to our governance, because when we look at the kind of things that goes on in our public sector, there is a need or a concern for us to involve spirituality in what we do.
Okay.
Because I normally say that in a way it looks as if our religious bodies, churches and the Muslims are not in a way helping us as a country. Yeah, because when we look at the kind of things that happen in our public sector, if you fear God and you believe you are somebody who fears God or who fears Allah, you can't go to a public sector as a Christian and then steal money into your pocket and go back and stand in the church as a man of God, or as a malam. But this current past government, MPP government, most of them, the NSS scandal, she's a Christian. Edi Buahin, I even saw one of his video that he was preaching in the church, in front of the youth. Yeah, so if you look at this, it means that there is a gap between our religious spirituality and then what we really practice as a people. So there is a need for this consciousness, so that at least in this ground we can reflect back some of the things that we do as a people. Because yesterday, I'm sure very well that those corrupt people, some of them will feel remorse at that ground. So moving forward, should that person goes back to the office and then he get access to this money or resources, at least the Spirit of God can touch his heart to be able to handle some of these things. So avoiding the numerous stealing and embezzlement that are going on in our public sector. So it's a good path that the government has taken, even though we know it's not enough to be religious, but you have to make sure you practicalize it in your life, so that you make it transcend from your physical activity in your dealing with a human being. And that is what really impacts the country as we move ahead.
All right, thank you there with your insight on the impact of religion.
Mr. Marie, do you remember during President Kufuor's era? He assembled some men of God to go and pray for the Kosovo Dam. So that's how I always say, if we do not change our attitude, we can pray and pray and pray,
and nothing,
because we are not the only country praying to God.
Sure.
So the best thing is that we have to change our attitude as Ghanaians
to correlate with our prayer.
We can. Yesterday, I listened to Dr. Williams, Archbishop Dr. Williams, was saying he's praying for Ghana to be a country where we no longer seek visa to go and work outside, but we only seek visa for vacation.
Sure.
And that thing is not just prayer. See, you have to work hard to achieve that. The countries now work hard to achieve those things. They didn't just do it by prayers. They worked harder, and then they achieved all those things. So it's not about setting a day for prayers. No. We have to put in more effort.
Okay.
That will make living here comfortable.
Okay. Let's get into the main conversations for the day. And with that, I will actually start with you here. Because, do you know why?
Yeah, I know why. I've been here talking about it. So, and then I'm still not impressed.
So, even after the reduction... The increase in value.
The increase in value. Yeah. Let's 15% is increase in value, yeah. What I would say, the average Ghanaian. The average Ghanaian, how much are the average Ghanaians earning?
Okay.
The increment is only those purchasing the 399.
Okay.
The increase in value went for only those, most of them purchasing the 399. Okay. Still go to that. I always make reference with star 141 just for you. And I told you early this year, as little as 4 cedi per square can get you about 4 gig.
Okay.
As little about 4 cedi per square can get to about 4 gig. Yeah. That's what the average Ghanaians want. Do you know one thing about this telcos?
No.
Those using or those buying the just for you, and then those buying this data zone bundle, those buying this smart data bundles are many and are larger than those people purchasing the 400 a month. The 400 a month.
Are you sure?
The average Ghanaians more now 10 cedis, 15 cedis a day, 10, 15 cedis a day. How many people are able to afford this 400 Ghana? If you go to my area, I know make a sample of 10 people, 20 people. Ask them how many of them buy purchases like 400 Ghana a month, boom, after their salary. Or didn't pay or take for 4 million at a band at once. You can ask. You can make a sample in this community. You can just call about 100 of them and ask them. Most of them purchases this just for you, or this normal data bundles are like, yeah, that's what most of them buy, and that's where they are getting their profit from. So MTN, BB, I was saying as little as first the papers now it's enough for 4 gig. All those things are gone.
But so, why are we? Is it only MTN that reduced their data?
Me, I don't use any other network. That's why mostly I speak
on
MTN because I don't use any like Tech3 on X also Tesla uses MTN.
Okay.
So it does not be complaint about any other network. So those who also use another network can also make their complaints. Or if they think their network is fine, they can just be there. Okay. Me, my complaints about MTN. And then how fast the speed of data I used to run like it's not only about the buying
but
they'll tell you it's not expiry. They tell you it's not expiry. Not expiry, no. It will expire within midnight. Like not expiry, no. It will expire. You can just download. You see a video with maybe 2.14 megabytes.
Yeah.
Then you want to download that video. Maybe you're having about 3. Maybe you require not at 2.4 now. Like what them things doing to us. That's not the number of people. The average Ghanaians. What is the minimum wage per month? Is that about 540 Ghana cedis? And how many people are even in Ghana here? The average Ghanaians. How many people are earning more than 2,000 Ghana cedis in this country? How many people are earning more than 2,000 Ghana cedis in this country? So if you talk about the 400 Ghana cedis one, it's about some set of people. You get it? About some set of people. But the average Ghanaians, we are not going to feel the impact.
Okay.
The average Ghanaian, me, whatever I was talking about, some just was about this 400 Ghana Uno. I was talking about the 141 day. The debate will be used, you know. The average Ghanaian, those in the universities, campuses nowadays, that's what they've been buying.
Okay.
The youth in the universities, in all universities, that's what they've been buying.
Okay.
They don't buy the 400 Ghana own. I just say, yeah, they gather money together, and I be a more my five and I what I be then they buy it.
No, my share
also. And the crowd, some customers more share. The speed of the you'll be at the phone to the router. The speed of the so mostly on pen of my or Tangana be an force yard that pay. Now Tangana can even get you 1 gig.
Wow.
Meanwhile, those days, early this year, I'm not so those days, early this year after Mama was sworn in. This year after John Mahama was sworn in, first the 50% was as little as 50% can get to 4 gig on star 141.
Wow.
On star 141, as little as first the 50% can get you 4 gig.
Okay.
And that was what most of us were using. I thought that yeah. Then our house there, because of the hotspot. Then you all tap it. Then what I say? Yeah. Because for gig, that in the best spy. So we should all tap in. Then he used to pay connect expire and expire.
Okay.
Yeah, because it has a limit. Like after 24 hours it will expire.
Okay.
So what Sam George did, well, he be. But the average Ghanaian,
Sure.
Only here.
Okay.
Because that's where the telcos are making more profit.
Okay.
That's where the telcos are making more profit.
So what would be your, I mean,
the fight or the push for the you should focus on the average Ghanaian own. Like on the yesterday on X people were talking about data zone. They should force them to bring back the data zone.
Okay.
Because some donors never forget. Maybe right now they use some of this against us on X, and then by party was voted out. So if anybody come and make any comparison that during your time, something I use against us during campaign, we shouldn't talk about it again. Because Waba can't SGN
sure.
And Waba. So we shouldn't even discuss about it again.
Okay.
So what I want him to do, the average Ghanaian, like they mostly consume those data zone that just for you. Some of this data, these are what the average Ghanaian consumes.
Okay.
This for Ghana, I'm be turning be more. And salary every 5,000 has to be sir. Because like, if you're paying rent, you're buying water, prepaid and other things. Now you take 2,000, you take 1,500. Now better move for Ghana to data and some of them are not going. Many of us are not going to do. But you have by 10 Ghana or 4 Ghana or 5 Ghana. We want to share on Caribbean start up here. Do you get it? Yeah. That's how we do it. So we should think about the average Ghanaian. That's the most important thing. But if the value has increased from the value has increased. If the foreign Ghana own the value has increased. It will help a certain group of people. I'm never born. Then me I'm here. No so fast.
Okay.
Because I don't think me I'm I can take 500 Ghana out of my salary or out of whatever I'm earning, and then just to buy data. A month up, I'll buy prepaid, I'll buy everything. No, I cannot. Like, how will I even live in Ghana? How will I even stay in Ghana? You get it? So this thing is for certain people who are, if you can even afford it already.
Okay.
The foreign Ghana own. I don't know whether if you're streaming here, I don't know the type of this thing you use. But if you're streaming here, maybe help so.
Okay.
You get it? If you're streaming here, maybe to help you, some of the media houses. So this thing will help some of the media houses, and they're not going to be able to even. On my friends, so as I'm kind of saying, as a bonus, not to even attack the NC government.
Okay.
Now I just learned when I just went out right now. I just read a post. It's not related to this, but I'm very sad that Sheikh Kamaluddin Abubakar. I learned the media started attacking him. The NDC media house started attacking him for him making a statement about politicizing our judicial system. And I think I have to condemn it. Although it's not related to this topic, but I think you have to condemn it.
Okay.
Because you have to allow the religious leaders to also voice out if certain things are going wrong. Okay. And then he didn't only condemn it. He said MPP also did the same. Both MPP and NDC are politicizing our judicial system. Okay. Because we also did not vote or approve these judges. Because we are doing politics out of it. Do you get it? So sure. we should all condemn it. The NDC media houses should not attack that man. If they attack that man, it will also prevent other leaders to come out and voice out.
Okay.
Yeah. So we should look at that one too.
All right.
But my main concern is about Sam George. Sam George, please, the average Ghanaian.
You are still not satisfied.
But I won't benefit from that. So how will I be?
Sure.
Yesterday, even on X, people were talking about this thing. We that are using the X, many of us are using the X. We buy the data zone bundle just for you.
Sure.
Just for you. Just for and then just for you also. 10 Ghana more 1 gig. 10 Ghana cannot give you in the 1 gig crana within the space of 1
minutes.
NASA. I can't because I call TikTok and Instagram now. They can
okay.
Then use it on Facebook and then maybe X. But if you want to go to TikTok and Instagram, then man, they're in the 20 minutes on him. You get it, yeah. So he has done well, and then for a certain group of people, you should push harder. You should push the telcos harder. Let them also reduce the data prices for the average Ghanaian. Then the speed at the trans among in Nigeria, the data is cheap there.
Okay.
The data is very cheaper there in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Somebody will ask why. The telcos will tell you the population. So they are making a lot of profits there, so they can reduce the price and still make profit.
Okay.
But because of our population, they have to increase the size, they can make some profit. No, banks are ACC.
ACC, okay.
The population is giving you this amount, so our population is not giving this amount, so you have to increase our own. No. If it is 1 Ghana here, the monetary value should be the same here.
Same here, okay. All right.
The monetary value should be the same. Nigerians will come to Ghana and tell you, oh, the data here is expensive. They come to Ghana and tell you the data is expensive in Ghana.
Okay.
But in your country, it's very cheaper.
Very cheap, okay.
The same MTN, because they chased MTN out sometime. The youth were angry at MTN, and they told them to go back to their country.
Okay.
They were very, and then they did the same to DSTV.
Okay.
They did the same to DSTV, and the DSTV, they all started shut down. DSTV is cheaper. Right now, Ghana here, we use the DSTV, they call DSTV centers now. They use the Nigeria this thing.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Most of them use the Nigerian more than the South African one.
Okay.
The coders, yeah. Because a cheaper age, they feel it's cheaper than the demand Ghana has seen.
All right.
You get it? So we should push that. They should forget about it. We should push them.
Okay.
And I think I won't say they are not hungry enough. I won't say that. Main for statement in us. But the youth, they should rise.
Okay.
You should rise.
Okay.
Like how Togo, the youth in Togo are rising. You should rise.
Okay.
Yeah. The youth in Togo are rising, and I support them. I'm in full support of them.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, because you cannot tell us that your father has become president for this so many years, and you also can be president for so many years, and you tell us that you have signed the constitution, you have changed the constitution, you are amending it to make your ceremonial president. That if you can have the election, but you still be the ceremonial president or prime minister. I didn't to go my bonnet. Do you get it? My bonnet. So the youth should rise.
Sure.
If the minister is pushing, and if the youth also start pushing the telcos, that's why Tech in Tree, he doesn't live in Ghana here. He goes and comes, but anytime he comes to Ghana, he tries to approach MTN.
Okay.
So the youth should also follow suit. We should let them know that why is the data cheaper in Nigeria and it's expensive here in Ghana.
Okay.
You start approaching them, and if the minister pushes and we are also pushing, I think they will do things in the right way.
Okay.
We are not angry enough.
Okay. That's fair. Thank you there. Bismarck, what do you have to say about this reduction of the data cost and increase in value? I don't think the cost has reduced, but the value is what has increased rather.
Yeah.
Do you think it's enough? It's of enough relief to the average Ghanaian, or you think it's still expensive looking at averagely people who subscribe to particular packages on the MTN data purchase?
That's fine. Before I start, let me say a good morning to our Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, and then his able team, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman.
I miss her.
Yeah, and other sector ministers, and also especially our Honorable Minister Sam George, who is trying his best to make sure he relieves us from our economic stress in terms of our data bundles. Yeah, so President Mahama came to set us free from economic challenges. And when he talked about the reset, it was not just a mere thing that he was talking about. And we realize that the reset involves in all areas, all sectors of the country. And on the last year, 2024 December, the people of Ghana began the reset by removing our greedy MPP and selfish MPP government who was stealing Ghana just without thinking about what they can do to be able to change the narrative of the country, but then only thinking about what they can do to steal the public purse. And God being so good that Ghanaians have realized they need to reset, and Mahama was also having the dream to reset Ghana. So on last year, Ghanaians have passed the baton to President His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and for him to start the reset. And as we can see from 7th January up to today, we can see the changes that are happening. Before that, he sat down and realized that no, this reset involves capabilities. So because of that, he selected ministers that can really work for the country.
Okay.
And other sectors, Gold Board, Finance Ministry, and Ministry for Communications, Digitalization, Technology, and Innovation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all these people, Muhammad thought through critically, and he realized that these people can help make the dream of the reset comes to true, a realization. So he critically appointed them, and they are manifesting everything today as we are seeing it in the country. Yeah. So I can see my brother was kind of making some propaganda, and it is so surprising and funny because when we can speak for our party, but if it is white, let it be white. If it is red, let it be red. Yeah, give honor to whom honor deserves. Who deserves honor? Give praises to who deserves praises. Yeah. So if you look at the press briefing by our media stations, if you read it very well, they said that data bundles have been increased. They didn't specify any particular amount of data. They said data bundles have been increased by 10% to 15%, depending on the telco.
Okay.
So if he's saying that Honorable Sam George should think about the ordinary Ghanaian, then I think probably he's not having the information that he's talking about and trying to say the other way around, or he doesn't want to give the credit to the NDC, Sam George, marvelous work he's doing.
Okay.
In fact, data bundle is a challenge, big challenge for us as a country, and for Sam George being able to bring about this amount of increase of the data for us is a great kudos to him, and a great kudos to the NDC government, and we need to praise him. We need to praise them for that.
Okay.
Yeah, because when yesterday I was doing my research, and then I realized that even the 10% they are talking about, when you look at the MTN, the percentage increment of the data is not 10%. It's about 52%.
Okay.
For MTN. Hey. And I will prove to you, I'm not lying, I will prove to you, it's mathematics. Hey. And for Telecel, it's about 64%. And then for Airtel Tigo, it's 17%.
Okay.
Why am I saying this? I don't know if the media stations that report, because they came out with only 400 Ghana cedis data for Telecel, and then 350 Ghana cedis for MTN, and then 400 for Airtel Tigo. So these are the only packages that they brief us on. But they gave the news that it's 10 to 15% increment.
Okay.
Yeah. So why am I saying the increment is 64%? Telecel like this was 400 Ghana cedis. 400 Ghana cedis to, that is it 90 gig or so, 90 gig.
Okay.
And then now it has been moved from 90 gig to 250 gig.
Okay, for the same 400
for
cities.
The same 400 cities.
Okay.
So when you look, if you look at, make the calculation, remove 90 gig from 250 gig. then you make the calculation, you will see that the percentage increment is 64%. But I don't know if the media stations were reporting falsely, or they were MPP propaganda media stations that reported such a thing.
I think that most of these things are more related to the MTN package. Because for I haven't seen anyone report otherwise when it comes to MTN.
It's the media house.
The media houses,
the telcos that come out with the report. MTN will come out with the report that they've increased it with 15%.
Yeah.
The media have a report based on what MTN came out to say. Because the media house does not have any information between the whatever that went on between MTN and them. So if MTN comes out with information, that's what the media house will report on.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so if you look at this calculation, 64% data increment, and then they are reporting 10-15%. It doesn't make sense.
No, if we look at it that way, how much was the 399 bundle? What was the gigabyte given?
The gigabyte for 390, that's 92.88. Okay. And then it's moved from 214.
So now how much gig do you get? 214
gig for the 399.
Okay.
So the percentage increment is 52%.
Okay.
And they are reporting 15%.
No, that is in the value. They said they have increased it 15%. Didn't you receive a text message from MTN?
I received it.
So we can't say otherwise. That is what they are saying.
Value, maybe the speed rate and other things might all be part of the factors.
That is what they are saying. They said they've increased the value by 15%.
Exactly. But the increment we are looking at. Okay, so maybe you were giving something to me at 10 cedis, and now you have increased it to maybe 50 cedis. What is the percentage increment? The percentage increment is the difference between the 10 cedis, the 40 cedis, and the 10 cedis.
So in this case, Bismarck, who do you think is at fault here? Because we are not reporting what we are reporting what MTN says they've given.
So that is why I'm saying that probably it could be a miscalculation from them, or the media stations misinterpreted.
No, I think you should take the media stations out of this.
So I think that we need to praise our government. Whoever made a mistake, that is gone. We need to praise our government. It's a great thing that some George has done, and we need to give credit to the NDC government. But NDC has come to set us free from economic challenges.
Okay, Bismarck. Before, back then, we used to have MTN data zones, right? Data zone bundle or something. Yeah. It's no more there, right? Is it still in existence?
Data bundle.
Data zone bundle.
It's no more there.
It's no more in existence.
Okay.
The star 141. We used to purchase some packages, 4.5 CDs for about
450 pesos.
Yeah. For how many gigs?
For about 4 gigs.
4 gigs.
Even this early this year, it was
There's
happening.
no more there.
Okay.
The 399, they reduced it to 92 gigabytes. Yeah. That is the only thing they've increased from what we've all seen. So people are saying that whatever they think they've done, the average Ghanaian, how many people in a month subscribes to the 399 gigabytes?
Yeah, so that is why I'm telling you that, you see, sometimes we need to use our mind to be able to follow the direction of maybe if something is going right for you. Myself, sometimes when I am short of data, I am not up to the time that I have to buy the data. I begin to buy 10 CDs, 5 CDs, 20 CDs, and I realize that within 2-3 days, I spend exorbitant amount of money on this 10 CDs, 50 CDs, 20 CDs.
Okay.
So to be at the safer side, I just have to reason and then make investment into the 20 gig, the 25 gig. Then I am safe from spending so much with my data. So if we are saying that they have increased the data and then probably it is not affecting the other decision, that's why I'm telling you that they make the report that they have increased data bundles, but then they only specify the 400, 350 by MTN, 400 by Telecel, and then Airtel, Tigo. Okay. But then the increment based on the report, it is affecting every amount of data bundle you are buying, not just an ordinary amount of data, say 10 cedis. If they say they have increased data by 10% increment, it means if you are buying 10 cedis, based on the news report, the 10 cedis is going, the 10% is going to affect the 10 cedis, that data you are buying, which means that you get more of the data for the 10 cedis. So that's why I'm saying that probably he was being judgmental and making propaganda and denying to give credit to Honorable St. George and the NDC government. Last year, or for the past 8 years, have we ever heard the news from the news that there is an increment in data bundles for 8 good years?
No, Bismarck, sorry. I don't think you are getting what...
I'll come in when it's done. So.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'll come in when it's done. Yeah.
Okay. You then continue, because I wanted to draw attention to the fact that it's not really about the propaganda or the percentage you are talking about. Sure. We are talking about the packages that are no more. These are the packages that the ordinary Ghanaian can afford.
Maybe you can afford.
I don't know if
you can afford the 400 Ghana cedis own.
Maybe
you can afford the 400 Ghana cedis.
Whatever advocacy the communications minister was trying to push, it should have been for an average package that everyone could afford. The 399, if you take 100 people, only one out of these 100 people subscribes to this 399. But the 4 CD50 pesos, everyone can do it.
Yeah.
Averagely. So if that one is taken away and you are still pushing us to buy the 399 because you have increased it from 92 gigabyte to 214 gigabytes, I still don't have the 399 CDs to buy it. Well, even if you make it 1 million gigabytes. I don't know if you are getting me.
I'm getting your point.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm getting you. So that is why, as I told you last week, that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. And yesterday, President John Mahama said we should hold him and all his appointees responsible.
Okay.
You see, so Sam George has done greatly well by 50%, 64% data increment for us by 400 Ghana cedis. So if some other packages are there that probably we feel that these packages were more important to us, yes, we as people of Ghana, we can raise our voices so that probably the sector minister, Honorable Sam George, can think about it, negotiate with the telcos, and then see if they can bring it on board. You see, so I am not denying the fact that those packages are not important. They are very much important for us because as the midnight bundles like this, if you subscribe to it, it is more safer at that time when you are using the data. So if you have something like that within the day that you can buy 1 CD, 2 CDs, 5 CDs, and then get some package that you can use that. So people who don't have the 400, the 1,000 Ghana cedis to purchase this amount of bigger gigabytes, they can go for that. So we are to hold our government responsible. They are for us.
Okay.
They are there for us. So we can raise our voices upon what we think should be done right and what should not be done right for us. But then we need to give the credit to whom who deserve the credit. What Sam George has done, really, if you don't have what it takes, you can't do it.
Okay. All right.
I would like to come in. Well, you said I was doing propaganda with this. how can you call this propaganda? When I was buying data for 460 pesos for 4 gig, and then now even with 10 cities I cannot get 1 gig, and I'm here talking about it, and I tell him I'm doing propaganda. You are here saying the government and president said we should hold our people responsible, and this is what we have to do. The youth have to stand up. Yesterday on X, people were against this 399 because maybe you can afford it, but I cannot afford it. Like we were saying, initially we were buying the 10 cities, the 5 cities, and then you felt you were wasting money, so you thought it twice to buy the 20 gig or 30 gig or 40 gig. No, maybe you can afford that. Okay. Maybe the average Ghanaian in the university, the average Ghanaian in Legon, in Kwame Nkrumah Technical University, Accra Technical University, the average Ghanaian in UPSC cannot buy those things. Do you get it? They're not even working. What that asks to them, but they always have to be on the internet to upgrade themselves to see whatever that's happening in this country. Certain times they don't listen to radio. Now radio. Let me end. Now not everybody even listen to radio. So now most of the radio stations and TV stations, they stream their programs online, so that the youth can be watching. Do you get it? Because not right, and many of them do not stick to their TVs or their radios. So mostly the youth now, most of the, like as we are here, you are streaming a program online. People will watch with data bundle, and the average Ghanaian that we want them to watch cannot afford this 400 Ghana distance series bundle. What they can afford. So what are you doing? I'm not here to do propaganda. I'm not doing propaganda because I was buying data for 460 pesos for 4 gig. I was buying it even this very year. I'm not talking about last year. I'm not making reference to the PP government. This very year, this very year, after John Mahama was sworn in, I was still buying it. Okay. I'm not making reference to last year for it to be a propaganda or something. No.
Yeah. So the reason why
so if you come here and talk about this, there was an increment during PP time. There was an increment in value during PP time. But during PP time, the people were buying it for 60 pesos and they were getting 4 gig. So don't bring that one. And then now that thing is no more there. And even 10 gig cannot afford me 1 gig. 10 Ghana cedis cannot afford me 1 gig.
Okay.
And I'm talking about this. I say I'm doing propaganda. This is the reality. Okay. If you can check on the phone, *141. Check whether 10 Ghana can give you 1 gig. Okay. That's the reality. Okay. You're talking about the reality. It's not about me doing propaganda. I'm having my phone here. You can check it on the phone. I can check on my phone. Okay. Whatever is happening, that's the reality. All right. It's not propaganda.
The reason why I'm saying that it's propaganda is because the news report by the data increment is 10% for all data. The word all underlined, all data bundles. They didn't specify maybe 400, 300. I am giving you the calculation of 64.
I understand your point.
64, 51% by calculation.
I understand your point.
So
if my fact is that I was buying data for 450 pesos and getting 4 gig, and I'm not getting that anymore, and now 10 Ghana cedis cannot afford me 1 gig. So where should I who should I praise?
Praise NDC, praise Honorable Sam George.
Why? I should praise Sam George because I was buying 50 pesos for 4 gig, and now Tesla cannot afford me 1 gig, and I should want me to praise Sam George for what?
Sam George has done his work. That's why I'm telling you that if there's a technical problem from
this is not technical problem. This is not technical problem.
It to them. That's what I'm saying.
That was the price we were buying initially, and it has changed. The price we were buying initially was 460 pesos.
Pick your phone right now. Dial *141#.
If you're using MTN.
And see if you would get the 4 cedis 50 pesos package.
It's gone.
Is it still in existence?
I've not bought that before, so I don't.
That is what
the average Ghanaians are buying.
We are saying like that. See, there's 39910. Let's be fair. That is someone's salary.
Oh, which I do a private school, a month. Then you want the person to buy 400 Ghana.
How many people buy this? We are not saying Sam George hasn't done anything. What we are saying is this: the advocacy. Yeah. This is where it should have gone to, where everyone will benefit, not some few.
Mr. Mari, that's what I was saying. The telecos.
I don't know if you are getting.
Mr. Mari, that's what I'm saying. The telecos know that.
Yeah.
The average Ghanaian, many of them used to buy these smaller packages, and that's where they are getting a preference from. But the 400 Ghana cedis, it will affect them much. Even got the profit margin.
Sure.
So they'll focus. They'll focus on that one and then leave where they are getting their money from. They get it because that's where they're making more profits. So if you go and negotiate with them, they'll tell you, how they able to can from 92 gig to 214 is very huge.
Yeah,
a big boom. But I'm say no, will be nice at that end. Until no air affected be. But what people are buying more, like the first 50% one, that also people are buying more. daily. First 50 pesos, not at all. I can buy today, then we tap in, then we all use it because it expires daily. Then tomorrow my other brother will buy, then we all tap in, then we all use it. So max solo have a catch. Then we tap in, then we all use it. That's what. Then so they were making profit from that. And I'm trying so. Now 10 Ghana cannot afford the 1 gig. 10 Ghana, if you check 1 star 141, 10 Ghana cannot afford the 1 gig. Now it's like 12 cedis will give you 2.4 gig, 12 cedis, and then 22 cedis will give you about now from 12 cedis, I got 22 cedis. You get that? That's where the point is. That's where them MTN is making profit. Okay. So if you negotiate with them, they will not punch that side. That's what I'm saying. Some judge should focus on that one. Then with the hit also should also start attacking MTN. We should let them know we are serious. This telcos, they almost say we are serious. Because the 400 average, and if you pick about 100 people here, even in my community, even in your community, ask them how many of them can afford that 400 Ghana. You can maybe I don't know if you start it's Legon. Maybe or airport residential or maybe where Blackwa lives. Blackwa and some lives. Maybe that's where you stay. Down there, if you pick in the community, when you're more bet matter. But in my community, I'm a man. If you offer some ponipa area, people who can buy that 400 Ghana bundle, there are few. There are few. If you pick about 100 people, when them be 2 or 3, who will tell you I'll be subscribing to this. Or maybe those the Game Boys who browses. And they are using that one for their work. That's where they get their money from. So if they buy it, they're different. From me, I'm not making money from the internet. But someone making money from the internet like I don't know how to put them, either Game Boys or Fraud Boys or I don't know how to call them because if those Game Boys or Fraud Boys, they're making profit out of the internet they buy. Okay. Because that's the business they do.
All right.
By me, I'm not making profit from it. I cannot go and buy the 400 Ghana bundle. Now me pay 900,000 a month. Then I meant to move 400. Then they made 80 kwakujuma. You get it? So that's where the point is. Yes. I'm not the propaganda, please.
Yeah, so as
I'm not the propaganda.
I am still on my words that we are dealing with facts and information.
And the fact, and then the fact that I gave
you that the report is all data bundles.
The report is there.
That is
the report. The report is there.
Yes,
that's why you also hear. That's why you also hear.
So
you also hear saying.
You
also hear saying talking about the report that the report even is wrong because it's 50% or something. So you are even debunking the report. The report is say 50%, but in reality it's 50%. That by calculation. And then I'm also here telling you that this is what I was using, and I'm not getting this anymore.
Yeah, so if
this I'm not getting anymore.
Hold MTN responsible, not Sam George. Sam George
when Sam George was the position.
When
it was the position, you know what he was doing?
Who is handling our telecommunications sector in Ghana?
Who is handling?
Yes, our telecommunications sector in Ghana. Who is the Minister for Communications?
Sam George.
So who is responsible?
Sam George.
So how do we hold the telcos responsible?
And I'm even surprised when he came here.
He has negotiated with them.
Okay. And what we are saying as a
negotiation will benefit them.
The report is that he has increased data bundles 10 to 15% for all network.
It seems you are just bent on
the report.
We are talking about the fact,
the reality.
Yes.
This is what MTN used to have as a package that everyone can afford. See, all these drawings where people were saying the data cost is expensive and all that, it had nothing even to do with the 399 package.
No.
How many people subscribe to that?
Yeah, so now
we are saying that
the new system that has come, as I'm telling you, by this calculation, 64%. If I don't have money, I'll borrow money and go and buy that data and save
what's I'm not going to make profit from that from the internet?
Yes, because if
I'm not making any profit from the internet, and I should don't borrow money to buy data bundle.
So you are
how can you tell me this?
You are telling.
I can't tell me this logic. What is logic? What is logic?
Who is
student in Legon to go and borrow money?
To borrow how much money?
For this to buy the bundle.
To buy a bundle.
And the matter will end
when the telcos can actually give us a package that just 5 CDs can get him some.
Maybe
5 CDs, how much was it?
It gave
5 CDs was how much?
For 4 gig.
5 was even 4 gig. Yeah.
What package was that?
Just for you. Star 141. Just for you.
Hey, are you sure you are part of us in this guy? Then you are a very rich man.
No.
I used to buy the 5 CDs.
That was what I was using. Yeah.
For 4 gig.
4 gig. Yes.
Last year.
This year it was there. Yeah, this year it was there.
Hey,
that's what I'm saying.
This man
That's
is
what I'm
a
saying.
rich
That's
man.
what I'm
He's
saying.
a
I'll
rich
know.
man.
I'll know. That's what I'm saying. You came initially. You came here and it was saying the MPP government couldn't increase it, and then you are here telling we should blame. We should blame. Now you are talking about the 4.3 gig, the forced distribution owner. I'm telling we should blame the telcos. But when you came here, you mentioned that MPP they didn't do this.
When the increment came, we should praise Sam George.
But when there's
when we are talking about
we should blame the telcos.
That one
now
we should blame the telcos.
That's
Hey,
what I'm
young
saying.
man.
That yes, Sam George has done his work. So now, if that is the case, let's question the telcos. Okay.
No, we can't question. Do you know one thing?
Bismarck,
we have a very nice conversation here, and I like it. Do you know one thing? The telcos, you always go negotiate with them. They know where they get their profit from. They know very well. That's why I use Nigeria as an example. Yeah. Like they're claiming Nigeria, the population of Nigeria is too many. Like they're almost times 7 of Ghana's population. Yeah. So if the data is cheaper, they're going to get more profit. Do you get it? Yeah. So Nigeria data is cheaper in Nigeria than Ghana. Because of the profit margin that they're making, that they're getting there, they feel if they reduce it to people, and they're about 20 million, even if they get about half of the population, only 100 million. By Ghana, 33 million. Even if they get half, about 70 million. So if they compare this thing, if you get 100 million population from here, people are using this thing, and we can reduce it for them, and they buy more, you can get more profit. But if you come to Ghana, the population maybe they're not going to get all the population using MTN. Yeah. So maybe half. Let me say half of them, because MTN is the most popular network that people use more.
Most accessible.
Yeah. So let me say maybe half of them, or more than half, or 2/3 of them are using MTN. It's still it won't reach the number they are getting from Nigeria, if they are getting half of the population of Nigeria. Sure. You get it? That's why they are making it. So they'll you negotiate with them where they are getting their profit from. Sam John went there to negotiate. He did very well. He went there to negotiate with them. That one he did very, very well. But the telcos will not focus on where they are getting their profit from. Not even package. But where they know that this it won't affect us that much, that's where they negotiate with you more.
Let me ask you this. Let's say you're a student. Yeah. You are in, let's say, JHS. And then someone comes and say, oh, you say you don't have books to study. Yeah. Someone comes and he says, oh, I've gotten Bismarck books, free books to study. And then he gives you the books, and the books are KG1 books. It is still a free gift, right? Yeah. Is it beneficial to you?
KG1 books, then he has not.
Is it beneficial to you?
No.
Exactly.
It has no value to me.
What we are saying is this, or what the masses are saying, is that yes, Sam George has made an advocacy. We appreciate it. But this advocacy, it still wouldn't reflect to our needs. The 399 is not what we were crying about. We were crying about the data zones. We were crying about the less packages. They're just for you. 4 CD50 pesos for 4 gig. This was what we were crying about. So if you go and advocate and they do nothing about these ones and rather increase the gigabyte of the most expensive one that we don't need or buy, how is that beneficial to us? That is what Ghanaians are asking.
It's beneficial because, we use data for a lot of things. People use it for businesses. People use it for research, a lot of information. And what Sam George has done is a step. It's a stepping stone. And telcos, they are operating by a lot of resources and they spend money. You get it? So the sector minister had gone to them to negotiate with them so that they also sat down and look at how they can balance it to be able to be in the market. So data is not just expensive because it's expensive. The government, the taxes on them, and then the exchange rate and the concentration of the market.
The exchange rate?
Yes, exchange rate. Concentration of the market.
If we have really come down from 17 cities to 10 cities, isn't that enough
our
to even for them to
Yeah, I'm getting your point, but I want you to understand that they are working and also binded to some other expenses. You get it? And so for that matter, Sam George is not responsible to go and remove any tax from a telco. He is not. We all understand the exchange rate has come. The city has gained power strength, and then for that matter, it would affect their resources. But then we are Sam George is trying to make sure that they balance it so it will favor Ghanaians and then favor them. He is not supposed to kick them out of the market because he is the sector minister, he has authority. So what I am saying is that yes, he has done something. So what we can do is we give credit to him, we give credit to NDC. And in addition to that, NDC has opened up, giving us the freedom and the forum that we should hold them responsible. So if we feel, okay, there is ABCD that was not in order, we were expecting, we didn't get it. Yes, we can still communicate it out to him. He will think about it, communicate to telcos. If they can make adjustment to it again, then we move on.
But is that not what we Paul was doing here, that you said he was doing propaganda?
Yes, why I said he was
you
doing
even
propaganda.
said we can't blame Sam George, we should go and question the telcos.
Yeah, so why I said he was doing propaganda was that according to the news report, they said data bundle has been increased by 10 to 15% for all data bundles. But he was talking about them removing some data packages like that.
And I just made you understand that.
So my point, why I was saying he was making a propaganda was, if they are saying they have increased from 10% to 15%, and then you are saying they've done nothing because maybe they took away like midnight bundle, and then for that matter, that is not a credit, then you are doing propaganda. That's my point I was making.
All right, fair. Let's move on to.
Let's move on because
let's move on to the next topics. And the next topic for discussion is that government is set to inaugurate a gold board task force to combat illegal trading in the gold market. It's been reported per statistics that we lose close to $3 billion due to illegal trading of the gold. People smuggle gold, and so it's something that it's working against our revenue from the gold coffers. And now that the gold board is set, they are looking to curtail that menace by inaugurating a task force to look to make sure that these things come to a halt or a seizure.
Have you asked yourself about the recently secretariat for whatever national anti-galamsey whatever secretariat that they inaugurated just last 2 weeks or whatever?
No, it was done just recently.
And then honorable, should I call her honorable because she's a government appointee now? I don't know if I should call her honorable or Madam Hannah Bisiu. I've been seeing her on TikTok, on the internet, chasing the galamseys and other things. That's also an anti-galamsey this thing. Yesterday she was on Adom FM, and I was listening to her. I was watching her. It's funny. She said they've arrested about 40 excavators. They've seized about 40 excavators, and then she was just going to get a low bed to come and transport them. Before she came, it's only left with 7 excavators. So I question myself. So is it a constant job? The anti-galamsey this thing, is it because what that you people were talking about it in MPP during MPP's era?
No, this is not anti-galamsey. We are talking about the.
Yeah, I know. I'll come to the good board. I want to make reference, then I'll come to the good board because the good board also
because the
task force.
This thing you are talking about is part of the topic
of discussion. Okay.
So we'll
okay. Yeah. The third topic. Yeah. You have people buying gold and other things. Recently, some JF came out that they've been able to export or sell about 50 tons of good. And then do you know the monetary value?
How much is that?
$3.1 billion. You can check it on your phone.
Okay.
$3.1 billion. They've been able to export or sell about 50 tons of gold.
Okay.
Gold board was established on 2nd April. So 2nd April, even if they started their operation, they formed their board and other things in 25th April, or maybe they used the whole of April to form their board or committees or whatever. And maybe I know maybe they'll start operation in maybe somewhere in May. So if May, June, they've been able to sell about 50 tons of gold, then I think it's a very, very good job. A question I'll ask myself: those money, those money, they will reserve some of the money, and then they will use some to purchase gold here, and the profit that they made, where is it going to? The Bank of Ghana, because they should be able to account for.
They definitely will. Now
we know the profit. Now we know what they sell. We don't know how much they went to sell it. How much they bought from the value they bought from the miners here. We don't know the value, that the monetary value they bought from the miners here. We don't know how much they went outside to sell. Unless you go online before you know the world market, or the value, the monetary value in the world market. You get it?
Yeah.
So with the gold board issue, whatever the corruption never costs for now. We are all here waiting. Because we need proper accountability.
But why are you anticipating for corruption?
You can't come out and tell us you've been able to you've been able to sell this tons of gold. We want to know how much you bought them from the miners.
Did you ask?
The thing is when you come out with this, that we've been able to sell this we've been able to sell this number of tons outside. This was the amount we used to purchase the good, and then this is the profit. This is the amount we got from the external market. So we've been able to make this profit. It will be fair. At least Ghanaians will be fair that the gold board has even given us this particular amount. Because now we don't know if they're going to use the $3 billion again to purchase gold again, or the $3.1 billion. Right? They're going to use all to purchase the gold, or they're going to keep the profit down and then use some to buy the. You get it? You want to know how it's going to be in operation. It's not just that where you're telling to say then you go. And maybe our press conference. If I have if I have the tools or the necessary requirement to also organize a press conference, the resources to organize a press conference, I also organize mine and ask about it. Now you're talking about people selling it and buying it. Did you know one thing about this thing? If you're not buying it well from these people, I bet you they'll smuggle it and sell it outside.
Okay.
Like this cocoa issue. Last year when we increased the cocoa price from 2,500 to 3,100, they're making noise that we are still cheating the cocoa farmers. And Ivory Coast have increased. This year, Ivory Coast have increased theirs, and we have still not increased our own. I don't know. If you ask them, they'll tell you they've informed the board for cocoa board.
Okay.
Then for so how long? And the farmers are there. Do you think the farmers there, those farming are along the Ivory Coast border? Those farmers, the cocoa farmers there. Around the Gaboso, where Honorable Mintakando is from. Along that area. Don't you think they smuggle the cocoa outside?
Okay.
Even where Sekwa, where Asinukita is from. Those people who are doing cocoa farming. So the question is, you farm this thing, but if you're not buying at the correct value, if there's an increment, if there's an increment in the world market, and you don't increase it here for them, they'll smuggle it.
Okay.
They will still smuggle it outside.
Okay.
You form anti-task force, you form our task force, you form whatever task force.
Okay.
If you do not buy it at the correct price, they will still smuggle it.
Okay.
We know cocoa board. You know cocoa board where it is. Cocoa board has been formed since. But still people smuggle cocoa out of this country.
Okay.
Because the cocoa farmers feel we are not buying at the right price.
Okay.
You get it?
So in a nutshell, if we don't buy at the right price from them, they are going to keep smuggling.
They're going to keep smuggling.
It doesn't need any task force whatsoever.
If you're buying at the right price from them, they will even come to you, or they will come to you
willingly to
really, yeah. Okay. And then right now they're saying they're going to the licensing for this the good buyers. They are not going to renew it for them unless you come you give us the source of money, how you get your money to buy the gold. And then do you think like they're coming there to tell the truth? How they get the money to buy the gold?
But is that not the right way for us to go?
And I think go tell you I get my money from here. I don't go to tell you.
But if you don't, so then you're not getting the license.
They will tell you they are going to tell a lie. This license are going to go to the NDC guys.
Okay.
Then the guys, my brother here can enjoy. You can also go for the license and start buying good. My brother, you are privileged. You can go for the license and start buying good. Okay.
Bismarck, it's 9:44 now. You are ending right at 9:50.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So please, he talked a lot, so you have to give him some small time.
No, he talked exactly 6 minutes.
In fact, when I look at MPP, I feel sad, and if I were to be a MPP communicator, like I'll resign. Because
why?
if I resign, because you can see that when they get to the media, the radio station, TV station, and they are speaking, like they don't have anything to talk about. So all they are talking about is what they are supposed to
talk to the topic and then stop.
What they are supposed to praise the government, they are rather in a way beating about the bush.
Talk to the topic.
And
the topic is there.
I look at it and I am not fine with it. It's not good for the people of Ghana. Look, let me tell you, Gold Board has come to make sure that it's part of the reset agenda President Mahama has started, and it was from 1963 that the Diamond Marketing Corporation started. Was established, and then in 1965 it became
my history. 5 minutes.
It became a state-owned enterprise by Article 401. Then in 1972, the Diamond Marketing Corporation, Ghana Diamond Marketing Corporation, became Diamond Marketing Corporation by Article 916. Then from 1989, the PNDC government also have to change it again down to Ghana Precious Mineral Marketing Corporation. And all of these were kind of, in a way, they were in the process of buying and selling the gold.
Okay.
Yeah. So when the Ghana Diamond Precious Minerals came, then they added a little amount of the processing of the gold and then exporting.
Okay.
Yeah. So when the NDC government talk about the reset, the government is thinking about what they can do to get a lot of foreign exchange for the country to stabilize the cedi, and that is, I can testify, the result is just the strength of the cedi we are seeing today. In addition to the finance minister and Gold Board has brought about a lot of the forex in the system. So that is why the cedi has reduced from 17 cedis to 10 cedis today. We are seeing. Yeah, it's not just by magic that some of these things are happening. So when President Mahama came in as part of the reset, he realized that there was a problem in our gold, our mineral export, and that was the reason for establishing this Gold Board.
Okay.
Yeah. So
if Gold Board was to tackle the smuggling of all these things, now Gold Board is also inaugurating another secretariat all over, a task force, a Gold Board task force, to regulate or ensure non-smuggling of. I don't know if you are.
Yeah, exactly. So NDC has sat down and they want to make sure the system will work.
Okay.
Yeah, that was what was lacking in the MPP government, because for them, they were thinking about the money they can steal and go. And now, to avoid this smuggling, we have Chinese, Indians, and other foreigners that are in this country, and then taking out this gold out of the country. And the country is losing a lot of billions of dollars and billions of cedis from this smuggling.
What do you think is the root cause of that?
the root cause is the negligence of the government, for which the NPP was not really thinking. They were not thinking about what they can do to prevent this smuggling. Because how can you have a Chinese man in this country buying the gold? Some of them will take the gold out of pass through the Togo board and then escape, and the country is losing a lot of money. There is no any check and balances to ensure the right people mine the gold, the right people buys the gold, so the money will channel into our
own reserves.
Okay. So what belongs to us were taken by people, and how can you become rich by this lifestyle? That is why the need for establishing a task force, so that this task force will be able to remove these illegal traders. And then the right and the legal license traders are the ones that can only buy this gold. And
please
according to my research on the gold board, it is only the license gold trader that can buy the gold. So if Sami Jenfi has no license, you cannot go anywhere and buy the gold. So the license gold buyers they consist of tier 1 and tier 2. The tier 1 are those that, okay, my brother is here, he can go and license as a gold purchaser. So he goes there, take the license for Sami Jenfi. So he's a tier 1. Then the tier 2 purchaser is the one that can only export the gold. So you can see how NDC is thinking for the country. So, and Gold Board is the only one that possesses the tier 2 license to be able to export. So when you take the license from them, Gold Board, you go and buy the gold. You can export it
to Gold Board alone.
Come and sell to only Gold Board. Gold Board is responsible for exporting the gold, get the money, and then give it back to them. They buy, so that there will be this system of monitoring to be able to guide the smuggling of the gold.
All right, thank you. Our time is almost up, but we are going to look at the last topic. We will be doing just 3 minutes on this, so that we wouldn't be eating much more than we need to. The last topic is this. The anti-galamsey, illegal mining, we all call it, has been on a rampant, something that has become national cancer that we are all fighting. We are all fighting it through whichever means that we could. And just some few days ago, we had the government, through the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, come to say that they are in no approval of independent bodies who combat illegal miners. Now it will only take the authorized persons from the government to only do that. So if, let's say, someone is in some hidden village doing illegal mining, and a group of people around there who can just go and stop them, government is saying no, we can't do that unless they come from wherever they are, from Accra or wherever, to that village before they can stop them. What do you think of this? Because so far we've realized how beneficial this citizens' arrest has been in the fight against galamsey. We've seen MCs lead a group of people to combat illegal miners. We've seen chiefs lead people. We've seen even the youth in communities, because they are the victims of the consequences of this thing in that area. And if we are now taking this, wouldn't this embolden the illegal miners?
Yeah, so this is part of the reset agenda, and it makes a great amount of sense, in a way that Mahama is thinking about the safety of the ordinary Ghanaian. Even the past government, because of their lack of systems and how corrupt they are, the illegal miners took them for granted. And I witnessed some areas of the mining area where military men, policemen were being shot by these miners. So imagine a military man can be shot by a miner, and then you, a common floor citizen, you are going to the bush to go in and arrest these people. Then I think it was just because of the negligence and irresponsible government system that was resulting some of the citizens getting angry and moving to the bush to do the work on themselves.
Okay.
Because we pay tax to the government to work for us.
Okay.
And the taxes we are paying, the policeman, the military man will get up in a day to go and sit in the office.
Okay.
To be at his post. He doesn't take any money, and he doesn't work for a company where maybe it will bring money. The military man's company is Ghana. And then we are the people paying the money for them to go and work for us.
Okay.
So if a military man will go to the post for the whole day, whole year, without doing anything, and then a citizen again will go to the bush and arrest an illegal miner, then it means it was a serious, irresponsible, as a result of a serious, irresponsible government that was leading to some of these things. So NDC has come to reset, and the reset is not just a reset. Reset involves thinking. Okay. And Mahama has taught very wise that it is not good for us citizens going to the bush they stop these illegal miners, because when you go there, you are going at your own risk.
Okay.
So the government is putting up a task force so that we can only lay information. We can only give information in the maybe Kumasi town or central region. There are illegal miners here. Give the task force information. Let them go there, direct them.
Okay.
So that they will go there, sit at your comfort zone. They do the work for you.
Okay.
And that is what the president is doing to be able to stop some of these illegal miners.
Okay. And also to ensure the safety of the citizens.
To ensure the safety of the citizens.
All right.
As well.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we need to give credit to the president for this mind-blowing reasoning for the country, for stopping the illegal miners in the country.
Okay. Paul.
Yeah.
Briefly.
Yeah. Do you know one thing? My brother made a statement that when the MPP people come on radio and TV, they don't see anything to talk. Even if I've been asked questions, you always beat around the bush. Do you know one thing? This thing that they are doing, like I said, Hanabisiu came out yesterday that they've seized about 40 excavators and 33 of them are missing. Where did they go? Where were they kept, and then how did they go? How did they get missing? But you're still here blaming the MPP. Meanwhile, you use this as campaign against the MPP. You use the excavators that were missing and the MPP as campaign against MPP, and this happening in your government, and you are still here talking about MPP. That's bad. You are still here talking about MPP. Meanwhile, yesterday same thing happened, but you are still here talking about MPP. An issue happened in Western Region, where it seems there was a clash between the authorities by the anti-Glamsey people, and then so a group also calling themselves as anti-Glamsey.
Okay.
There was a clash between the two of them. It took the intervention of the minister. Now, if we are talking about this thing that the government is ready to protect the normal Ghanaian, that's why the water gas, the blue water initiative.
Yeah.
What resources have you given to them? What resources have you given to them? Their life are at more risk than these individuals. But before the individuals will go there, they go in groups or they go in this thing. I mean, they prepare themselves before they go. But even this water gas, I don't know what resources have you given to. Have you even trained them how to shoot? Have you even trained them how to dodge bullets? But they are there. And you're telling us that it cares about the life of the main citizens. The water gas, one was drawn recently. Swimming, swimming. It's so good. Water gas, swimming. In Swafanako. Like, they weren't even taught properly. Because, like, even if the government thinks about them, because swimming, they were swimming. Because your water guard, you're going to guard this water. You don't even know how to swim. You don't even know how to dodge bullets. You don't even know where bullet is coming. You don't even know how to dodge bullets.
But Paul, who wakes up to learn how to dodge a bullet?
No, I mean the military and the rest. They go for trainings on how to,
and they teach
how
them
to
how
shoot,
to dodge a bullet.
how to shoot, how to like you lay ambush. You do all those things. The military have been taught about all these things.
But they don't teach them how to dodge.
At least you know you can lie down. You can lie down in the forest. You know you can lie down in the forest. But these people, they don't even have guns. The water guns don't even have guns. They don't even have guns. But they are there. I said one was drowned recently. Swimming couldn't swim, but I said water guard. You don't know how to swim. Your water guard don't.
But don't you share the view that this directive is actually and under the back of keeping the citizens safe?
This directive is keeping the citizens safe and keeping the water gas at risk, and also making sure the authorities can go there, see the things, and the things will get missing.
Okay.
The authorities will go there because those groups they can say that they are going there for this. When they see the excavators, they usually bend them.
Okay.
You get it? Those boys that they call themselves anti-glamsey. Let me say that they are not noted by the authority. They call themselves anti-glamsey, whatever. Yeah. When they go there and they see the excavators, they bend them.
Okay.
But the government will go there, do not bend them. They will bring them, and then they'll get missing. Where do they go?
Okay.
Patinyeska. Where do they go? The glamsayers will come back and take their this thing back. I heard this rumor that when they see the excavator, they tell you to come and pay some amount. Maybe 50,000. If you're able to pay, you take your thing back. Now the woman is shocked. The woman said he went there. They've seized about 40 excavators. I got 7. I can follow where I can buy. I got 7 excavators. 33. Fine. Do they have wings? Or the Jamai she left? Who did she leave them to? And how did they go missing? Because this operation that she's doing the police and the military, and national security. So how did they get missing? You get it? This operation that she's doing it with the police, the military, and national security. So you can ask yourself, how did the excavators get missing? They are using this thing. Nobody should go and burn excavators. Nobody should go and do this. Let the government seize them, then they'll get missing. That's it. It's very simple. Let the government go, face the calamity, seize the excavators, then they'll get missing back. Not IRA. And you are not one no. Because if you are very raw, you won't blame MPP. You can't still be blaming MPP because MPP is gone. You use this as a campaign to against MPP, and MPP is gone. Let MPP go. Face what you said you do. That's what you should face. And stop talking about MPP. Some government did this, some government did this. No, you said this about MPP, and Ghana voted against MPP. So MPP is gone. Leave MPP out of the conversation. MPP call. Okay. Now deal with the reality. What is happening? Okay. 33 excavators are missing. 33 excavators are missing. Okay. They don't have wings, but water gas, swimming. Water gas in swimming. Water gas in swimming. Water gas. They don't know how to swim, but the water gas. I can't be water gas. They don't know how to swim.
You see, you can't see an NDC MPP communicator without witnessing a propaganda message from him.
This propaganda. This propaganda. The are missing. The woman said it's clear that they are missing. How is this propaganda? What I'm saying is that the woman said the excavators are missing. They seized 40 excavators, 33 are missing. This is the propaganda. It's reality. Water gas, they are being drawn, and then it's so formal. And this is the reality. So what's the reality?
I'm not talking about excavators.
You're here doing campaign. You are here mentioning MPP.
What?
Meanwhile, you just saying against MPP. And MPP is gone. They are still mentioning MPP. You are still mentioning MPP. You use this against MPP, and MPP is gone. So leave MPP out and deal with what you promised Ghanaians. Okay. That's it. It's very simple.
Okay.
What I want you to understand is that this government, NDC government, is not a government to go and lie on. Because
every day, listen. Am I gonna abuse you? I'm not gonna abuse you.
What is the lie?
The lie I want him to understand is that NDC government is not MPP government who will recruit a 50-year woman into military. NDC government is not a government.
Did I say you recruited somebody to
NDC
military?
government, listen.
No, did I say?
NDC
If you said a lie here, I've not mentioned about NDC recruiting somebody to the military. I've not mentioned about. So where's the lie here?
NDC government is not a government who will recruit somebody going to be a water guard who does not know how to swim.
And one has been drawn. One in Bakoko.
Please. That's
Amazure River. I drawn about who only swim na drawn no.
You can't lie
on
this
government. Someone's life are danger.
We thank.
They are all facts. The person has been drawn.
We thank our listeners this morning for making time with us. Gentlemen, would you take your 30 seconds to wrap up? Greet whoever you want to greet and all that. Or
greet Honorable Kennedy of Japan.
Okay.
You know, I'm a police station chairman. I'm a chairman at police station level. And anytime I call for meetings, the grassroots, the base, the party base, what they tell us is that Paul Mokamfa Kenembra.
Okay.
My nickname is Starboy.
Okay.
And then that's my political name. When I Starboy, Mokwa Mofa Kenembra, Mokotabana, Mofa Kenembra, and sa Mugu party now. Okay. So the grassroots is calling for Ken. The grassroots is calling Ken. And my greatest greeting to Commander Kwame Quinn, the constituency organizer for Wujagbawi.
Okay.
And it's also the incoming Greater Accra Regional Youth Organizer. And also my greetings to Commander Prince Obin, the current Greater Accra Regional Organizer. And then also to OT, and National Youth Organizer, and the incoming Assistant Secretary for Greater Accra Region.
Okay.
My greetings to them. I wish them well. Yeah.
Thank you. Bismarck.
Yes, boss.
Your last word.
All right. So my last word is, as we all know, President Mahama is endowed with a lot of wisdom, and we pray that God will continue to bless him with that wisdom.
Okay.
And so he can, within 3 years, as said by the minister yesterday, that within 3 years he should change this country. Yeah. So that is what we are praying for him. God should grant him the energy and the strength to be able to do that for us, so that we can be liberated from this economic mess. And also, I want to say kudos to Honorable Son George. In fact, if I don't have money at all, I'll go and borrow money and then buy 250 gig data. Yeah, it's a great impact that he has done for us, the people of Ghana, and we say we appreciate him greatly, and we are calling for more and more of. Yes, I know more are coming today. He has an update today that 3 p.m. we are going. He's going to update us what he's having for us in the next quarter of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are hoping for better and good news from him, and the Lord should continue to keep him and bless him, so that he will continue to give us good and better offers from telcos.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me just say this to the people of Queen's Hall, Queen Elizabeth II Hall, Queen Elizabeth the Queen's Hall at KNUST. Maxwell Amwakun will be contesting as the Queen's Hall president.
Okay.
And I will urge all the people of Queen's Hall to vote for him as their president. He has served well. Even in 1100, he served very well in Queen's Hall.
Okay.
So, dear KNUST Queen's Hall residentials, please vote for Maxwell Amwakun as your president. And he's going to serve you well. Max will do it well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Max will do it all. We all know Maxwell's capabilities and all. We wish him all the best, and we admonish KNUST to give him the nod, and we believe that he will serve to the best of his capabilities. I thank you once again for making time with us throughout the show. This is where we call the curtains on the show. We'll be back here same time tomorrow morning. Enjoy the rest of your day.